Um, all right.
Demand a regular start.
Yeah. So who wants to recap? And it's not going to be me.
I'll do it.
No.
All right. Last session, this was 2 weeks ago. The session started with us lost in the woods, and Yinkin was staring into the mouth of a giant croc. As he was dealing with that, he was approached by an elf who was hiding in the trees and acted quite dickish. Yinkin returned back to the rest of us, informed us that the elves had found us. The elves engaged us in some chatter before bringing us to their city. We traveled for hours before reaching the edge of the town. I believe it was called Salib Utara. I'm probably butchering that translation there. We were left in a treehouse of sorts. We were told we would be dealt with in the morning, but we were still able to move around town rather uninhibited. So some of the party members took the time to talk with some of the locals, got some information. We found that most of the people we met were quite uninhibited, both in words and actions. They were pretty open. We were taken to the center of the town the next day to meet with the elders. Um, Even though they were capable of speaking in Elvish, Yinkin was translating. The party asked the elders if they had any knowledge about back to the way things were, more or less just trying to gather information. The elders appeared to be content with their situation. They felt safe. They gave us the impression that they were disinterested in the world going back to the way it was. After much prying, they opened up about the tower that we had saw while traveling through the woods. They'd mentioned that the Fae were turning dark and that they were coming for us. One of the elders, by the name of Tahira, eventually told us that she would escort us to the tower. Prior to leaving, Faith attempted to seduce a 12-year-old boy. And then the next day, Tahira led us through the forest. We traveled for about a week with no sign of the tower. The following morning, as we were waking, the sound of giggling was on the wind. It startled Tahira greatly. She had her bow pulled out. Um, we started to notice glowing lights surrounding us. They would shine, they would disappear, they would reappear, more giggling, and then the session ended.
I would like to correct. I successfully seduced a 13-year-old boy.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Sure.
Like that makes it better.
It does.
I
for
guess
me.
every little bit helps. So yeah. Anything else that needs added? I feel like that was pretty comprehensive. Is there anything else that happened that anyone feels is relevant? Okay, so I'll take that as a no. So yeah, you guys find yourselves in the jungle where you've been for some time, and yeah, I think you were resting, if I'm not mistaken, and
I think we're just going into a
We had
long
just
rest.
woken up. We had
yeah,
just woken up.
right, exactly, yeah, and you woke up to some strange sounds, some giggling and laughter coming from the trees, some movement but blurred. It's difficult to make out. Also there seems to be some quality of the light that's changed. It's difficult to say. All of you are still basically rubbing your eyes from sleep. Yeah, and Tahira is on edge, and she's got her bow drawn, and she's kind of keeping her head on a swivel, looking around and kind of hissing. You're not sure at you or at whatever's going on. Could be one, the other, or both. Yep.
One clarification for my mind set. Did we leave the others behind for the trip to the tower?
You did.
Yes.
In
Okay.
fact, Gabriel went out of his way to make sure that they were not coming. So you are.
That yeah. I was almost positive of that, but I don't remember that being mentioned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys. It's just the five of you plus Tahira.
Thank you.
So yeah, you guys are awake, heads on a swivel. What do you do?
Cast Mage Armor on myself.
Okay. So while Giselle does that, what does everyone else do?
To hear what's going on. What is this?
Oh, and I should mention, I meant to do this and I forgot. I have no idea what her accent sounded like. I should have checked the stream, but I forgot. So we're just gonna wing it until
She sounded like she was from New Orleans.
I don't think that's accurate.
Could have been
Pretty sure
cool,
that's not accurate. It was more
Like
British.
it was well done, John. Like for a moment I almost bought it. I was like, oh, what? No, she was not Southern. No. Respect the effort though. So, yeah, Tahira is looking around, looking at all of you, and she just says, everything here is hostile. Everything. On your feet, please. Hurry. And she's just like,
What's going on?
no, and like you see these lights in the depths of the jungle that are like bobbing around, and you still see like the leaves getting ripped apart and like moving around. And I think, give me a second here. That's what I thought. Sean's gonna just quickly roll a die. Yinkin, what are you doing right now?
Waking up and getting up and about to ask why everything is hostile.
Okay. Yeah, and as you're getting up, let me just make sure I don't want this to post in chat. Always whisper rolls. Dear Roll20, give me an option to make everything whisper rolls to the GM. As you're waking up, Yinkin, you're trying to figure out exactly what's happening. You feel a slash across your skin, directly across your back, I think. You take 7 piercing damage. It just like it's very quick. You can barely feel it for a second until the piercing has stopped, and it just sort of like alights with pain. And something like you hear like a giggle, and then again just the whipping of sound through the jungle. And you're cut, you're bleeding.
Okay, I was going to ask why it's hostile, but I believe you now.
And yeah, you see Tahira's just still like, she looks at you and is like looking around, kind of panicked. What do you guys do?
Level Giselle up.
What do we see around us other than the movement? Like, we haven't found the tower yet, have we?
No.
Can I send my Raven out to see if there's anything he can see out a little further out?
I mean, you could try, I guess, yeah.
I suggest we just move.
I'm gonna just jump up and take a readied stance and effectively take the dodge action.
Okay. I'm going to have Faith. Why don't you make me a perception check since you said you were looking around? Okay. Yeah, you're trying to look around and it's difficult. You're just seeing this blurred motion and this you're hearing this laughter, you're seeing the bobbing lights. And you kind of
Is it just laughter, or is there like a language that's not identifiable mixed in?
All you're hearing right now is like a very feminine giggling sound. But as you look around, you see one of these bobbing lights. For the briefest of moments, you see something like shimmering next to it, and it looks like a tiny person. And it's like poking at the light. And then the shimmer just disappears, and like you just see the bobbing of the light there. So what do you guys do? I mean, Giselle is sending her Raven out. Are you looking through its eyes, or are you just waiting for Mr. Sprinkles to like report to you?
I'm just telepathically communicating with it at the moment.
Yes.
Tahira, do we stay and fight or do we run?
Yeah, and her whole body language is just stiff. She just looks a little petrified. She says, I don't know. I can't see anything. It's moving too fast. Yeah, she's just kind of confused.
Can I see anything? Because I'm a very observant fellow.
Yeah, you could make me a perception. Like, are you looking for something specific?
Well, she said it's moving too quickly, so I'm just trying to figure out what's moving.
Okay, yeah, give me a perception check.
Oh God.
No.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's just blurred. The pain is kind of distracting you from that slash you took.
Damn. Yeah, I'm trying to look for things while still covering a wound.
I just kind of call out. We don't mean you any harm. What do you want?
And a couple things happen. Giselle, Mr. Sprinkles flies out, and then you hear him in your head, and he's like, "Ugh, get away from me! This, you disgusting creature! Ugh, what is this? Go away!" And like you hear Mr. Sprinkles like flying through the jungle, like trying to like pull evasive maneuvers. And Gabriel, right as you say that, a tiny little person appears right in front of your face, and she looks at you, and she's got this tiny little body, and she kind of has a glittered effect to her. And she just stares at you, and she smiles, and she boops you on the nose, and she just like flutters off.
That was hot.
I wonder what snap filter that was.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, there was a little person just in front of me. Little person.
Really?
Little tiny person.
Like a leprechaun.
I don't know what a leprechaun is, but this was like a little miniature person.
Yes,
Well,
And-
standing here as a target is a bad idea.
And
How
I-
about if we can't catch it, we should just move on.
and I think that as you are all standing there, like looking around, trying to figure out what's happening, you see as a number of the lights begin to kind of bob out, like they're disappearing, and you start to hear the rustling increase.
From what direction?
All directions, 360 degrees all around you. And you, No, we're not going to do that again. This time, Faith, I'll need you to make me a perception check. Nice. Okay. So you suddenly, like, you're turning around, looking around, trying to figure out exactly what's going on. And as you kind of turn, you see something flying at your face. It's very small. It does not look like a tiny female. It's got, like, deeply blue purple skin and weird, like, white hair. Its clothes kind of look like a greenish like the jungle. And the thing has 2 daggers, and it's flying at your face. Why don't we roll initiative?
Ah, shit.
Do I have time to react at least to that?
Yes, you do.
Or? Okay.
That's not what I wanted.
I think I'm just gonna, point at it in shock and in infernal, in my fear at seeing this thing, say, "Don't move or I'll sever your head from your body," and do vicious mockery.
Okay. Tell me when everybody's rolled initiative. I will have that thing make a wisdom save.
I can click my token first if I can find it.
Okay.
I think we've all rolled at this point.
All right. So we're gonna do this. Faith, the thing seems completely unfazed by you.
Shit!
And Giselle, you're now seeing that a lot of the leaves are being ripped around. You're starting to see this movement. What are you doing?
I can't see it.
You can, I mean, yeah, it's hard, it's blurred, you can't make out details, but you can see these tiny little creatures that appear to be like flying. It's almost like they're flying, they're moving so fast. But you can see them, you can't really make out a lot of detail yet.
Shit. What do I want to do? I don't really have a fucking spell for this right now. I am going to try and ray frost one of them.
Sure, that's a good idea. Okay. Yeah.
Fuck.
The thing is
They've never
immune to
got
code.
this
I'm sorry. It's invulnerable when it comes to code. 16 unfortunately does not hit. The thing is just too quick. Your ray of frost just like disappears out into the jungle. You see as it kind of freezes a couple of leaves that just instantly turn to ice. But the thing is still moving. Faith? Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Yeah, Faith, you tried to scream at this thing. It's coming at your face. What are you doing?
Is it within melee range to me, or is it still coming?
It's about to be. Like, you could effectively hit it in melee.
Okay. Fuck. It's got daggers in its hand, right?
Yes, tiny little daggers. They'd almost be cute if they weren't coming for your face.
Okay. Do they look metallic?
I assume so.
I'm gonna heat metal on the daggers.
Okay.
We have one of them.
So it makes a con save. Unfortunately, it saves.
Damn it.
Well,
Yeah, I mean it still takes the damage. But it doesn't drop the
okay.
the dagger.
Yeah, so you see it starting like in a blur, like it starts to shake its hands from the heat of it, and it kind of like yelps out, and like and it's shaking its hand so fast to try to get from the heat that you see it's almost like a little pyro show right in front of you, with the daggers that start to alight but don't. It's like fireworks. It's real cute. Anything else your turn? I'm guessing not.
Yeah, Gabriel's right after me. I'll inspire him. Squish the bugs! Because ew, bugs.
Okay. Gabriel?
So I've only seen one of them, but can I tell that there's more than one around?
From the sounds of it, definitely, yeah. It's there's
Okay.
there's so much movement. There's no way there's just one.
Kind of looking over at Faith. They're not bugs. They're not bugs. They're little people. I'm going to use 2 sorcery points to twin this spell. I'm going to cast Suggestion,
Okay.
and I'm just going to say, I want you to help us with our mission. We're going to have to make, I think it's a Wisdom saving throw or
Can
something.
you make such a suggestion? Like, that's a pretty specific thing. I'm just gonna.
Well, suggest a course of activity limited to a sentence or 2. Magically
Yeah,
influence the creature to see within range. Blah, blah,
It's
blah.
more powerful than command, which is the
One
word.
word thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To the best of its ability. Okay.
Last 8 hours.
So 2 of them have to make wisdom saves. You said.
I believe it's Wisdom. Yeah, Wisdom.
What's the DC?
DC is 15.
Yeah, the 2 of them immediately like I think one of them is coming out of the jungle behind you, and it just sort of like jerks to a stop as it looks again like it's flying, and it sort of skids to a stop right by your feet. Another one was coming right for Marcus's skull, like coming from the trees down, and sort of like lands on Marcus's like shoulder and like trips and falls off because the suggestion hit him so hard, and he just like lands in the dirt and is like shaking it off. But I don't think they're going to do anything yet because your suggestion can't be immediate, right? Like they
It's
can't.
probably on their turn. I'm sure they can't do anything just right off the bat.
Right. Well,
Also,
yeah.
they wouldn't know what our mission is.
Exactly.
So
That's the
the
problem.
Yeah.
first step would be stop. They would just stop attacking
It certainly
us.
wouldn't be attacking us. That's not a part of our
Oh
mission.
no, of course
Yeah.
not. Yeah. So what I think is going to happen is those 2 this turn are literally just going to be like looking at each other and looking at you, and like they have no idea how to help yet. They don't know what it is they're meant to be helping with or how. So this turn they're going to do nothing. They're just going to look around like they just look bedraggled. They really have no idea what to do yet. However, there's 3 others. One of whom is quickly approaching Faith with its daggers, and it's going to try to take a couple swipes at you. And it's just like flying at you. So what's your AC?
13.
They both hit 19 and a 24. You take a total of 16 piercing damage. And the thing just like runs up, slashes you very quickly. Oh, I should have added. I made to hear a character sheet, and none of you reminded me. You gotta. Yeah, I'm sorry. I should have told you guys I did that so you could help remind me. But I will pull her onto the board at this point. let's see. How do I'm really bad with player
We're just so
character
used to
sheets.
being with NPCs that
Are useless. I
go to
know.
the ethereal plane for every single battle.
It's
and
true,
just-
yeah. They're
They can't be
extraordinarily
hurt and they can't help.
they're extraordinarily powerful that way. Yeah, one of the Faith gets cut up. Another one is going to fly out and aim for Giselle because she tried to fire a ray of frost at it.
Okay.
So it's going to fly at you and take a couple dagger swipes. 22 and a crit.
Those both hit.
So you take 7 plus 13, 20.
Ow.
20 total damage. And the thing just sort of like it, and again, it just sort of like slows down, swipes at you twice, and then seems to turn into a blur and just to disappear again. These things are unusually fast. And then the last one is, I'll roll. It's either going to come after, I think, Yinkin or Tahira. And that'll be Tahira. So it's going to roll to hit her twice. Hits her once, I think. The fuck is her AC? Yep. So it hits her once. She's going to take 8 piercing damage. Okay. And then we are to Marcus.
Can I see the one that just cut Faith up? Or did it make its way back into the
It's
brush?
like right at the edge of the jungle. You could try to catch it in this turn. Like you could get to it.
Yeah, I got 40 feet of speed, so I'll rush over to that one and try and use my quarterstaff to smack it down onto the ground.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, the thing is too quick. It just dodges right out of the way.
Okay, well then I'm gonna use a key point to do 2 unarmed strikes.
Mm-hmm.
Try
Thought
and
you
swat
might.
it.
That definitely hits. Take 7. Yeah, so you slam the thing, and it bounces off a tree, but it's not dead yet. It's still moving around. Anything else your turn?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Yeah, Yinkin.
Seeing these things fly around, I'm going to go back to my childhood, take my quarterstaff, mutter a couple of words in Elvish, and swing as hard as I can at the little flying ball that I can barely see.
Okay.
Better up.
That definitely hits. And this is one that actually hasn't taken any damage yet. And it's kind of buzzing around, and you just sort of quiet, just listen for it. Wait. Slam into it. I think what happens is it's flying past you to hit somebody else, and you just batters up with just swing into it, hit it right in the torso. The thing almost collapses in half, and then it just slumps as it falls dead or dying, and just plops onto the ground. You actually killed it.
Nice.
Huh. So that's how that's supposed to go.
Giselle, watching
Okay.
Yinkin do some work.
Giselle is a little annoyed at these little fucking things that she can barely see, so she's gonna cast Gust of Wind in front of us.
Okay.
I'm gonna try if I can manipulate how it's how it's shaped. I'm gonna try and donut it around us.
You're trying to create a torus.
I'm kind of trying to create a gust of wind wall.
It
I'm
literally
not sure if gust of wind can
it
be.
literally says a line of strong wind.
All right, so it's just in front of us then.
60 feet long, 10 feet wide. Okay. Okay. All right.
It basically makes it difficult for terrain for them to fly through it.
Right. They have been attacking you in 360 degrees, but I'll take that into account. Faith? Muted?
Mouth
Brownie,
full of
mouth,
brownie.
1 second.
Okay.
Terrible timing. Sorry. I've still got the one that Marcus whacked in front of my face.
Yeah.
This is my bad, so I'm not gonna retcon this, but I took Flames of the word that I can't say for feet at 4th level, which when I cast a fire spell, I can wreath myself in flame. I meant to do that off heat metal, but I did not. But just to let you know that I have it for next time.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good thing. We should, once we're done with this, we'll have to. I meant to ask that at the beginning. I said I was woefully unprepared. I warned you, but yeah.
Nope,
so
that's fine. That's why I'm not retconning it because I forgot it too. So, if that little one's still kind of flitting in front of me, dizzy from Marcus's hit,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna vicious mockery again, and if I don't squish you, he will.
Okay.
Again, infernal. I'm not gonna.
This time, because the thing has taken some damage, it's kind of spooked. And the thing is like flying around, buzzing between the two of you, trying to like, it's got its daggers out and it's like shing shing trying to move around.
Not
And
the
then
face, not the face.
suddenly, like abruptly, it just like stops. And like it's like bouncing off trees and bouncing off the ground. And suddenly, like you see as it's like bouncing off the ground to come at you, its body kind of contorts as you mock it viciously. And its body just like flies, and you just hear the rustling of trees as it drops its daggers, and its body just goes like flailing into the jungle somewhere. It seems to be gone. Gabriel, you made a suggestion. I don't know if you want to try to follow through in some way here, or your call, of course.
As a free action, I'm just gonna keep calling out to him. We're trying to make it safely to the tower. We need to investigate and return our findings to the city. You were to help us with our mission. And then kind of put my hand out, not attacking the ones at my feet, but I guess the last one.
Mm-hmm. There's one left, yeah, or appears to be.
And chuck out a magic missile.
Yeah, that one. As you're casting your spell, you can see it's about to fly at Giselle's face, and it's about to hit the wind wall, but your missiles hit it right before it does, and your missiles slam into it. Its body kind of twirls into the wind and just gets like forced, like at a hurricane rate speed, out through the jungle. And again, you just hear the like rustling of trees, and you probably hear it thud against like a branch, and a branch breaks. And that creature appears to be dead as well. Tahira, whose turn it is looking around frantic. Still just spooked, not sure what the fuck is going on. You do have these two little creatures at your feet who have not yet acted. I think Tahira actually, she appears spooked enough that she is going to pull on one of the ones at your feet.
Oh.
She doesn't know what's happening. So she's going to try to aim at one of them.
You stupid.
And she actually hits with a longbow. She does 7 damage to one of them. And she actually gets a second attack. So she's going to shoot again. I think she can do that. Second one misses, just like lands next to the thing. So she's got like an arrow in one, and the other arrow just is sticking in the ground, like right beside it.
Well, that one's completely broken. That one's out of
Mm-hmm.
the suggestion now.
Okay. The other one is just like looking at its companion, like a little confused, looking at you. And so what was exactly your wording in that second bit about leading you to the tower?
We need to make it safely to the tower, search it completely, and then return our findings back to the city.
That's a lot of detail. So the one is like looking around frantic. The one that's just been woken up, that's like got an arrow sticking out of it. It's gonna get up, and it's gonna flee. Like it sees that all of its companions are dead or incredibly confused. It's just gonna like just try to disappear into the jungle. The other one's just like standing there looking at you, like shrugging, like saying nothing, but just still, a little
Before
confused.
anyone else acts, I just yell out friggin' free action kind of thing. Leave this one alone. This one's with us.
I go over and stomp on that one.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So that one is going to just like dart out into the jungle and try to leave.
The injured one.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, it kind of disappears out into the jungle. And Giselle, this whole time, I should point out that you've been hearing in your head, Mr. Sprinkles, just like, ugh, there's more of you. Get away. And you're just hearing, like, again, still like evasive maneuvers, like Top Gun style.
Poor guy. There's more of them out there.
And yeah, so you got this other one at your feet, Gabriel, and Tahira is like looking at you, confused. And I think for a moment, I think you see a couple of the lights in the jungle sort of come back on. It's like they start bobbing again for a moment, and then you see them just like float away through the jungle. Like you actively actually see them light up and then sort of float away in different directions. And about that time, all of you hear, but Giselle, you hear more because it's inside your head. Like, what am I supposed to do? It's like, and you hear, and all of you start to hear the leaves breaking and branches being split. And suddenly, Mr. Sprinkles like explodes into this little opening that you guys have in the jungle. And Mr. Sprinkles is like, you can see he looks exhausted. He's covered in branches and leaves, and he looks all dirty. And he kind of like crashes at your feet, Giselle. And suddenly all of you like look around and you see this kind of shimmering in the jungle, and you start to hear this like and then you start to see these things sort of shimmer into existence, and you see these like tiny little female creatures. And they just all appear to be watching you, and a couple of them seem to have their eyes pretty specifically on Mr. Sprinkles. And Mr. Sprinkles is like flapping himself, like trying to clean off his wings or what have you, using his beak to like get the branches out. And Tahira just looks at all of you, especially at you, Gabriel. Why do we not kill this thing?
Because it's not going to harm us. I kind of put my hand out to try to pick it up.
And yeah, it just climbs up into your palm. And yeah, like it's as I described. I can actually kind of show you what it looks like. If any of you, I'm guessing, have figured out what it is. It looks like this.
I thought so. These fucking things.
And Gabriel, the thing climbs up and kind of like you lift it up in the palm of your hand. And it says in kind of like a broken common, so, what was it you wanted?
You are adorable. We're trying to make it to the tower.
Why? You want that thing?
Well, we just wanna. We need to investigate what's happening with it. It keeps appearing, it disappears, it appears, it disappears. We're trying to get information for the city nearby, and we need to investigate it fully and return our findings back to the city.
What city is it? What? Who? And he's like turning around in your palm, looking at all of you. What the?
I know it's a lot to take in. It was hard for us at first.
You're damn right, it's a lot. Like what? We were just hanging out. I was hanging out with my buds, and now you're here. Like, I don't.
Well, the town is
creation are you?
And your friends started to attack us. And
well, you're in our territory. This is like our neighborhood. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, we're sorry. We certainly didn't mean to intrude, but we didn't mean you any harm. We even said so up front. Like I said, we're just trying to make it safely through the woods. We don't want to harm anyone.
Well, there's things out here that are going to harm you, huh? Yeah, that's going to happen very definitely. Yeah. And you're hearing all of you kind of surrounding you, just like this.
Well, I'm sure that you are smart enough and that you are persuasive enough to talk to your friends and let them know that we mean no harm and we just need to make it through safely.
Whoa, 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 friend. Whoa, whoa. This jungle, this place, it's huge.
Mhm.
All right? This is my neighborhood right around here. But, like, out that way, that ain't us. I mean, I'm popular, don't get me wrong, but that's crazy talk.
Well, I'm sure you can't do everything. I can't do everything, but you can certainly try, just like we can. We're all going to put our best effort forward, and we're going to do the best that we possibly can, because that's all we can do in life.
I look side-eyed at the rest of the party for these pretty words.
Does he flirt with everything?
Oh my God, it's not flirting.
I think he has a career in motivational posters.
Probably.
What's a poster?
So what do you say, friend?
Propaganda they post in Bastion.
I mean,
Do you think you could lead us to the tower?
I kind of feel like I don't have a choice here, friend. You know? Like I don't have options here. I mean, you kind of put an arrow in my friend, which I feel like I should be kind of pissed about, but he just, like, shakes
Now-
his head.
Again, I announced at the beginning we did not come in. We didn't come. We came in peace. We didn't intend to harm anyone. And your friends did attack us. I understand territory is territory, but we didn't harm anyone until they attacked us. We were simply defending ourselves.
You got some weird logic, friend. Weird. All right, weird. Real weird.
Self-defense. It's self-defense. That's all it is. I'm sure, just like you said, there's a lot of things out in the woods. If something attacked you, I'm sure you would have defended yourself.
Nothing attacks me out here. I'm too fast.
And that's why we need you as our guide. We need someone with your talent, with your abilities.
Well, I mean, like you said, the tower kind of moves around a lot. I can see about it, but why do you want to find the tower? It's a tower, man. Like,
Have you been there?
I mean, in passing.
Aren't you curious as to what's inside of it?
I know what's
You
inside.
know.
I mean, no. All right, no. It's
What's inside of it?
no. It's a tower, man. All right, just chill out. Like, look at her, and he, like, points it to Hera. Like see her. Like, she looks all nervous. That's how you should be. That's how you should be. You should understand that this place just ain't for you. All right. So be more like your friend here. Like I can just show you out.
Nah,
He, like, sighs. He's like,
we can't really do that. We can't really do that.
Where exactly are we?
what do you mean? Where are you? You're home, friend. Look at you. Aren't you, like, Elvin? Look at your ears, man. This is a, it's the Fae. It's the Fae. Like, you can't recognize the Fae when you see it. You're standing inside it.
So
Remember, they said that this flickering tower, the veil, is thinned here. He doesn't realize he's not in the Fae. Or maybe
No, honey,
I think
honey,
we
listen.
are in the Fae.
Like, I come on now, honey. This is my home. And he's like, you kind of insult me to my face here, babe. Like, look around you. It's all leafy and green. There's a setting sun that always sets. There's a rising sun that always rises. It's just how it goes. I mean, look around you. Would you just arrive? It's your first day here. What am I, a tourist now? Like,
Yes, and yes.
look, you want me to take you to the tower? I'll take you, but I don't want to get real close, all right? And the thing is, it kind of moves around, like has been pointed out. Not exactly the most stable thing in the world, you know?
Mhm.
Well, again, I'm sure if there was anyone that could get us there, I'm sure you'd be able to do it.
And, like, I think he looks at, like, you, Marcus, and just, like, thumbs at Gabriel. Is that how he always gets what he wants? He just, like, compliments you. Doesn't that get on your nerves?
Yes.
All right, good. Well, I'm glad we've established some baselines here.
But get used to it.
There's nothing wrong with being nice to people. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Oh, there most certainly is. There most certainly is.
I know, right?
It's absurd. All right, let's just piss off. All right,
I like this guy. Poor girl.
Listen, let's not. You're prying into my personal life here, all right? Like, let's just, you know. And he like jumps. He jumps
Not
down
sorry.
from. He jumps down from Gabriel's hand and just like plops down and lands. It's like, I guess we got to do this your way. And he like mockingly like puts his hands in pockets that don't exist and just starts like trumping through the forest.
So cute.
And you're still hearing this like kind of giggling and stuff and a little rustling. Occasionally you'll see like a light kind of bob somewhere deep in the jungle and then flicker out.
Giselle picks poor Mr. Sprinkles up and dusts him off.
Yeah, he's just like, I don't like this place. This is disgusting, sweaty and hot. These things, they chase me through the jungle. They tried to grab my wings. And he looks like offended, like somebody touched him without permission.
Would you like me to put you in a pocket? No.
Sorry, you kind of broke up for me there.
Would you like me to put you in a pocket dimension for now?
Honestly, yes. That would be much better than this. He like uses
Alright,
his beak
then.
to like gesture around.
I'll shut him into a pocket dimension temporarily.
Okay. Yeah, so the creature starts to make their way through the jungle. And Tahira is incredibly reluctant about all this. Like, she clearly isn't happy. She goes and like collects the one arrow that was left, and puts it back in her quiver, and she will kind of begrudgingly follow you guys through the jungle.
So,
Go
when
ahead.
exactly do you think we entered the Feywild? I didn't really notice anything.
Probably about the time these things started showing up. Overnight.
It's weird.
Could have been any time. Could have been in the Feywild the entire time we've been in here.
I'm less worried about the fact that, I mean, we're here, there's nothing to be done, but let's just hope we can get back.
And I think you hear from up ahead of you, the little creature says like, hey, if you want to go back, like, we can go back. I'm all about going back. You just change your mind, tell me. I'll lead you right out.
Now you're doing fine. What's your name, friend?
It's long. You probably can't pronounce it. You call me Sam.
Sam. Sounds great. Nice to meet you, Sam.
He's like, yeah, pleasantries aside. All right. And he just like keeps like moving through. Sorry, I'm loving this character too. Anyway.
I'm quite injured. Could we either rest or get a
Ow.
healing?
And then
can-
all you had to do is ask.
I have 6 out of 26 hit points.
Are you doing all right, Faith?
I'll be alright. And I'm gonna touch myself.
Okay, I'll give 7 to
Damn it.
Giselle.
Thank you.
I just thought of like the greatest pun that I could work into this game long term.
Oh god.
Hold on,
Oh,
I gotta go
no.
to Google Drive, make a note about the greatest pun joke in the history of D&D campaigns.
Okay,
Hold on.
that almost topped me up all the way. Thank you.
Oh, don't want that. Yeah, so you guys are all healing each other and touching each other and doing whatever it is you're doing.
Faith's annoyed at the little bug things.
Yeah, you're still hearing this giggling. Occasionally you see these lights pop up and kind of bob, and some of them bob away. Occasionally you hear sounds that you've heard traveling through the jungle up till this point. You hear birds and creatures just climbing trees or moving through the water, or occasionally you might hear the croaking of frogs, things like that. But sound-wise, it's pretty familiar. Sorry, I'm trying to burp and it's not coming. There it is. So, you guys begin your travel. it's really difficult to tell. Like, time has almost no meaning as you're moving. There's no movement of the sun or the sky. The colors don't seem to change. And so you guys are just walking along, and at a point, you've been traveling for what you could presume is maybe like 3-4 hours. Sam kind of stops and like looks around, and could we hurry this up?
Love to.
Is there a problem?
Well, and he looks really uncomfortable. They look really uncomfortable, like not sure how to, like shuffling a feet. Just looks nervous.
I'd like to look around to see if I can see what's making him nervous.
Yeah, give me a perception check. You start to hear it sounds like a light kind of cackling noise, and not cackling like laughter, like a sparking kind of noise.
Guys, listen.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just gonna like slowly start turning my head to see if I can kind of pinpoint where it's coming from, or if it's 360 again.
This one is not 360 degrees.
Sam, what's happening?
There's other things. I told you. It's like neighborhoods, right? Like you walk through. There's just other things here, and some of them, I don't want to deal with them.
If we keep
are we
moving,
able
will
to
they leave us
avoid
alone?
You just said a lot of things all at once. Can you talk one at a time? I know I talk fast, but come on.
If we keep moving, will they leave us alone? Hopefully.
I don't. I mean, they don't leave me alone. Like, we sort of have beef. So
Are we able to avoid them and still get to the tower?
I don't know. I don't know if they've seen us yet or not. If they've seen us, it might just follow us. I don't know. That's
In
look.
that
Maybe
case-
if you listen. Here's what we do. All right, listen. Are you listening? All right, good. All right. You just hide me. All right. Put me in a pocket or something, and you just pass through. We just keep going. He kind of looks around and points. He's like, that away. Generally, just a little while, and I'll know when it's gone.
All right, I'll hide you.
Well, good. All right. So it wasn't hot. It wasn't hot at all. All right. Just relax. We're gonna be fine. Where do you hide him?
If I have like a open pouch or something like that, I'll just kind of tuck them in there.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at Giselle. At least didn't ask to hide in cleavage.
I wouldn't have minded. He's kind of cute.
I'm just gonna look at her weird.
And you continue traveling for a little while. And Yinkin, it looks like, casts a spell. Are you guys stealthing?
Sure.
Yeah, if we're trying to.
It's more so that we just don't leave tracks, so that even if we walk away from this space,
Or
nothing can follow
Yeah,
us
or hide
unless we're already in line of
or
sight.
hide our friend Sam.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's totally fine. Wow.
Somehow, the red and purple tiefling disappears into all the green.
Oh, Giselle, nice. Good work.
Well, Giselle goes, "You can hide in my boobs!"
Yeah.
Wow, good job, Giselle.
All right. So you guys start stealthing through, and you're moving quietly through the jungle, and occasionally you hear this this energized kind of crackling sound coming from somewhere in the distance. it sort of like comes and goes, like it's moving around, but it doesn't seem to like necessarily get closer to you at any point. You guys are traveling for maybe like an hour or so, and most of you moving very quietly. Even Giselle, and then sort of abruptly, Giselle, you walking and you trip on something and you just face plant hard,
Yep.
and you
Sounds
all
about
hear
right.
Giselle just like whoosh, hit the ground. And I think Sam sort of pops out of the pocket. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing? What? Quiet! What is going on?" And your
She'll be a
face,
bit
your face is
clumsy.
like covered in dirt and like mud.
I'm covered in dirt and it's gross.
I'll help her up and put my hand over her mouth.
And then in the distance, just behind you, you hear.
Sam, is that a friend of yours?
Hell no, those chicks are weird.
Chicks.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like
Can I dance with this chick? Sorry.
I mean, they probably would. They kind of enjoy that kind of thing. It's gross. I don't get it.
Sam, how old are you?
I don't know. What year is it? He said, fucking with you. It's the fate. Time doesn't exist here. Let's move. And he just like hides himself back in Gabriel's like little pouch.
You know, maybe I should just pull you out of that pouch and feed you to whatever's following us.
Let me move, please.
Just focus on the ground in front of you, Giselle.
Maybe I should just fly away.
Still pushing forward then.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Okay, so you guys continue pushing forward. And yeah, you continue moving through. Sam is generally trying to guide you. The energized crackling sound kind of like vanishes off in the distance. You don't really hear it. You still hear the occasional like little giggle or laughter. Sparse lights kind of bob here and there, but they're almost disappearing entirely. And you see as you're traveling along, you're having to like cut through pretty thick brush at times. Other times it's kind of open. You hear running water occasionally. Again, very much the sounds of the jungle you've heard up to this point. Traveling for a few more hours, you find yourselves in kind of what appears to be like a more open grove of sorts. And there's a loud dinging noise that indicates it's time for dinner.
Okay.
So that was my phone.
It's funny because I don't think I muted mine, but that's okay. So you find yourselves in kind of a more open grove. It's a little less hot here just because there's more room for the air to move around. And you've been traveling a good number of hours at this point, and Sam's like, "Are we there yet? Can we be done with this? Like, what,
You tell us.
It's hard to say how long it's going to take us to get there, right? Because, again, time don't exist here, all right? So, look, I'm just saying, all right? You hear me?
You were the one guiding us. If you can get us there faster, we'd be happy to get there faster. We're certainly not trying to take our time.
Fine. You just don't get it, all right? It's fine. It's fine. All right? Fine. And he's like, I'm getting kind of hungry. If you wouldn't mind just taking like a little break, we could just take a moment here. And Gabriel, he kind of looks at you. He's like, I got some business to attend to. Like, business. You get it?
You
I
have
get
to
it.
poop.
I get it.
That's what is wrong with her? Like she's like an elf. You're supposed to be classy, and you're like, what is your deal, broad? It's fine, just fine.
All right, Sam. Take care of your business, and like I said, if you know a faster way there, we'd be happy to.
It's not about
Go.
speed. It's not. Look, I'm the quickest thing here. All right, let's be honest. If I want to get there, I can get there. But just, I'm out of my comfort zone. Can't you tell? Like, is it really that? Y'all are so dense. Like, come on.
Well, none of us feel comfortable. We're just trying to do the best we can.
Well, you could be comfortable. You could be comfortable. You know what? And he just like starts to walk away, and he like walks around a tree, and like you can see him like undoing his like little trousers as he's like walking around the back of the tree. And you can just hear him like on the far side of the tree, just like, that's stupid bullshit. What I get roped into?
Gabriel, how long does that spell last?
8 hours.
How long has it been?
It's about 6.
Oh.
We're gonna need to kill him after this, right? 'Cause he's gonna be real unhappy.
But he's
I
so
don't want
nice.
to. He's rather entertaining, but
I could
Pretty
send him on his
sure.
way.
he's
Perhaps
gonna
you
be
could
upset. We just,
Perhaps you could suggest him again.
I mean, he gave us the general direction we need to head in. I could send him off to go back home. He did help us.
Yeah.
I guess that would be the kind thing to do.
Yeah, he did help us. Whether
What if he comes back with help?
I don't even see the tower though.
I think he doesn't know how to find it exactly though. Like,
I mean, if we're just moving in a random direction, hoping it shows up in front of us, like you said, it moves around. We've seen that much.
well, at least we have a general direction. That's something we didn't have before.
Let's let him keep guiding us for now, simply because we are completely out of our element. While he may not be in his comfort zone, at least he's knows where the hell he is.
While
I
we're
just don't-
waiting,
I just don't want him to pop out and.
yeah, if we let him leave now, he'll be 2 hours away before he realizes he should hate us.
Yeah.
And it might not be worth it for him to come after us then, because he'll have to cross through all the stuff he doesn't like.
Yeah.
Or he could get eaten by something on the way back.
while this conversation is occurring, can I look around for those giggling voices if they've still been hovering about? See if I can actually spot them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Give me a perception check. You're still hearing occasional giggling, but by and large, you don't really see it. You don't see anything making the sounds.
I mean, we could always try a different tactic and force his cooperation a bit more.
I mean, if we try to be vindictive about it, he could just walk us into the most dangerous place possible. Especially if he believes his life is in danger, if he thinks that we're going to do him harm.
And as you guys
Faith
are
Yeah.
having...
grins slowly at that, and you misunderstand. There are magical ways to compel cooperation.
I mean, that's what we're doing right now.
I'm just thinking there's more powerful spells.
If you have one,
I'm leaving it to a party decision.
I mean, a guide is better than no guide, but it wears off and we're still lost.
And he will know that I forced it.
What spell are you going to put on him?
I have a certain ability of charming people.
How much time could you give us?
An
I mean,
hour.
I do too, but it tends to stun them as well.
again, if we still have an hour plus on mine, I think the idea is just so we don't have to face him physically again.
And so as you guys are kind of having this conversation, like,
Quietly.
He goes, I can hear you, right?
yeah, no, Sam kind of like quietly like walks back around the tree, and like you see him buckling his belt, and he comes around, he's like looking around, and he's like, well, I'm sure you've been having some conversation behind my back, which is incredibly rude, by the way. Like, I can't tell you. It's fine.
It's less
fine.
rude than watching you.
That's just disgusting. Like, what fucking plane are you from? Dear God. And he's like looking around and trying to like, he's getting his bearings, or that's what it looks like he's doing. And you start to hear like more rustling up in the trees. And you start to hear this strange sound. I don't know how to explain or duplicate it. Like you hear the flapping of wings, and you hear, it's not a cawing sound.
A trill, whatever it is.
Kind of, yeah, maybe.
Like a tucky.
No, not like that at all.
Like a honk?
No, it's like the only thing I can compare it to, and I don't want to say it because I feel like it might give it. Well, it's not going to give it away, but who here saw Avatar the movie?
Yep.
The sounds that their creatures, the flying creatures, make, but like much higher pitched and quieter. Like that kind of, I guess it's more of a trill sound. It's kind of guttural. You start to hear it, and it sounds, you're not really sure how to read the sound, but you're hearing the flapping of wings and something's moving around. And then you start to hear on the ground level where you are, as something is like very, I think Yinkin actually hears it first. You hear like a quiet footfalls coming in your direction. Sounds like several of them.
Something is coming.
Does the intermittent laughing we've been hearing pretty much the whole time we've been traveling, is that still happening right now, or is it quiet?
It's quiet. There's no laughter now.
We should hide. Many feet.
Hide or run?
And
I'm actually gonna look to Sam.
And Sam's like got his hands like on the hilts of his like daggers. He's like looking around. He's like, I don't know. I told you this isn't my neighborhood.
Fight or run, though.
Well, honey, if you have to ask, I'm a lover, but it's not really the time for that. And he's like pulling his daggers out. He's like, I'm always up for a good fight.
Sure. She just kind of looks at you all, though. Doesn't that kind of wear off if he gets hurt?
Only if we hurt him, I think.
I'm just gonna put my back to a tree from whichever tree blocks line of sight from where I hear the footsteps coming from.
I'm gonna put
Footfalls?
my back to Marcus's back.
Okay. And yeah, you're listening for these footfalls, and you're hearing this like weird sound coming from the trees, and sort of abruptly you see this very small creature. I will try to describe it to you. It has wings. It looks kind of like a lizard with a tail. It appears to be like a kind of orangish color.
Is it a pseudo dragon?
It looks kind of like what you've heard dragons look like, but it's quite small. It's got, it's like, it doesn't really have scales on its body, or it doesn't appear to. Its skin does look kind of leathery, like a little tough. These large wings that look almost more like, they look like solid wings, but they look more like they're shaped like a butterfly's wings, if that makes sense. And the thing kind of like almost falls out of the tree. It looks like it's been hurt, and it kind of slams into the ground.
Can I try to catch it?
Yeah, you could make me a dexterity check or dexterity saving throw, maybe. Well, say dex check. Yeah. Okay. Sure. So yeah, you kind of like jump out, and the thing it starts to fall, and it looks like it was going to hit the ground pretty hard. But you actually kind of cradle it and catch it, and you see that like it's taken some damage to one of its wings. It clearly can't fly properly. And like right as you catch that thing, you see these creatures that emerge into the out from the depths of the jungle, and they look really unusual. Nothing like anything you've really seen before. They kind of look like this. They look like little plant men.
Oh,
Oh, cute. Such a pygmy.
And yeah, that's not how you spell that word. The thing that you caught, it's in the wrong color, but it kind of looks like this.
Oh, it's so cute.
you
And
said it had like butterfly wing,
they're not
Yeah.
they're not like
not like dragon wings. Like they're not like leathery dragon wing shaped things. They're more like the.
yeah, they're shaped more like a butterfly's wings. And you see four of these plant creatures that step out kind of at varied locations. They're not in 360 degrees around you, but they're kind of in a longer stretched out line. And you see that each of them is carrying a spear, and a couple of them have slings.
One of them's got a crown.
It does. It does have a crown. Isn't that something? He's special. So they come out, they step forward, and they see Faith, you like cradling this creature. And
Is the creature conscious in my arms?
it is, but yeah, it looks like it looks hurt, but it is conscious.
Okay.
And so these creatures come out, and they are these little plant creatures. These plant men are actually wielding like spears and slings, and they're like clearly looking for this thing.
Mhm.
And they step forward, and you hear them begin to talk to one another. You have no idea what they're saying. Whatever language it is, it sounds nothing like anything you've ever heard. And they're kind of looking at the one who looks like slightly larger than the rest. And they all kind of like look to him or it, and they sort of have some weird conversation. And then the larger one kind of steps forward and puts out like this this viney hand that looks like webbed with vines. And he just like beckons you, like points at the creature and like gestures like, give that to me.
I'm gonna do a quick look at the party to kind of gauge what they think I should do. But
Just
I'm definitely gonna kind of pull back with this thing.
I'm sort of already readying for a fight.
Sam, what are these guys? Can you understand what they're saying?
God,
No idea.
no. Listen to those things. That's disgusting. Like what? They're like plant men. They're gross. Look, Jesus, God, what God made a thing that looks like that? That's just awful. Like, ugh. They don't even look cute.
I'm gonna shake
Yeah,
my
they
head.
do.
No.
And
And
like,
take a step back.
and that the big creature like takes another and like purposeful, almost stomp like step forward and points his spear at you and takes his free
I'll
hand.
take a step in between. When Faith steps back, I'll take a step in front, like putting myself between them.
Okay, and then the large kind of plant man.
I'm gonna also use thaumaturgy to make my eyes glow, but have like the magic in my one free hand that's not creating the creature, like to try and intimidate. Like I'm not to be trifled with.
Okay. And like and I think Sam kind of like steps forward. He's like raring for a fight. He just looks at you. He's like, "Honey, I don't know what plane you're from, but I don't think that's gonna do you. I mean, listen, you do you, all right? You do you, but
I hate that phrase.
all right." And
I just thought it was a masturbation joke.
the large the large plant man kind of like gestures at the other plants with him and like stomps his spear down, and they step in front and they get in a line like gladiators and hold their spears at you, and that'll be initiative.
Nice.
Did I roll that? Oh, I did. Okay, cool.
And don't forget our friend.
Ah, yes, Tahira, thank you. I would have definitely forgotten. How do I... Where'd you go, Tahira? There you are. And I guess nobody healed Tahira, huh? Because y'all are a bunch of selfish bastards.
I didn't even heal
She didn't
myself.
say anything.
Actually,
I said,
she
does
got hurt.
anyone need healing?
Yeah, while we were was that a short rest when we were waiting for him to do his thing?
I don't think he.
I
put
Oh,
it
I
in
don't.
an
know.
hour.
No,
Long
no, no.
enough.
I don't think it was that
Okay.
long.
I
no.
doubt it took an hour for him to.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Unless he was, like,
full
on
of
Reddit
shit.
the whole
He
time.
talks
He's
to
pretty
himself, man.
constipated. He's
Yeah.
pretty constipated.
Well, he's full of shit, but he's not that full of shit. Okay.
If Tahira needed healing during the course of this, she could have asked, and I would have healed her.
Yeah. Well, the DM can't track that many things in his brain, so that's all right. All right. So. Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay. So let me descend. Gabriel up first.
All right.
I believe I go before Yinkin because I have a 17 in my dexterity.
Yinkin, what's your
Put
dex?
tiebreaker on. No, she does. She beat me.
We'll have to turn that on. Okay,
Yeah, I just turned it on. I didn't realize it was on.
that's fine. But anyway, yeah, Gabriel goes first.
Just that first one right in front of me. I'm guessing we're not like melee, like face to face kind of thing.
No.
Just kind of.
Yeah, this is an open grove. I mean, you could get in melee if you wanted, but
Yeah, I'm gonna launch a couple scorching ray in his direction. I guess just a one hit.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. This. How much does it do? 7 or does the
7, just 7.
Okay, -7. Let me make sure that they're not. They're not. Okay. Yeah, so he lights up on fire. You can see them like freaking out looking at him like, "Rah!" And it's like patting itself out of the fire. It burns him very badly, but they're not all that close. Don't start measuring shit. So yeah, he burns up. Anything else your turn, Gabriel?
No.
Okay.
That's it.
So how close are they?
I don't know. Like they're I don't know. I'll think about it. Give me a moment. The
20
chief
feet?
is
10
gonna get his turn. Do they all get that, or does he just get that? Let me see. Oh, he does. Okay. He'll wait on that. He is going to throw a spear at Faith.
Mhm.
Because he can, but let me turn off. This, and then he will throw his spear at your face. He crits. My
Fuck.
God, Sean's rolling like a beast today. And you take a whopping 7 piercing damage.
Okay, in retribution, hellish rebuke.
Okay.
Nice.
And I will wreath myself in fire. Let me.
Well, hang on there. So does hellish rebuke, like, does it require? I don't think it requires anything.
When I
like,
get hit.
no,
can
I know,
do
but
it.
like somatic, verbal, anything like that with that spell. It's verbal and somatic. So I think you need at least what, one free hand to do somatic?
I do have one free hand.
Okay. I mean, you're cradling that creature, so which
I said last time I was gonna take my one hand with the magic to the intimidation thing.
okay. Sorry, I didn't hear that bit. So you you'll have to post that thing to me about that feat though, because if you're on fire, does it affect the dragon? Like, I don't know how that works. And he has to make a dex
You
save.
can cause flames to wreathe you until the end of your term. They don't harm me or my possessions. Shed bright light for an additional 30 feet. And then any creature within 5 feet of me that hits me with a melee attack takes damage.
Okay.
I can link it here if I can figure out the feat thing. There we go.
Perfect. So it did actually save from your hellish rebuke. So you did what, 15 total? Or
Yeah, so 7.
7 damage. Okay. All right. So you burn him up. That is that creature's turn. Giselle.
I took 7, you said? Sorry.
Yeah, 7 piercing damage. You could probably hit, I'll say, like 2 of them with like a fireball if that's what you're trying to do.
I don't have fireball. It's third level spell. Is there one close enough to the chief so I can hit the chief and like one other?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna try and hit the chief and one other with shatter.
Okay. So one of you's exploding in light, the other one's exploding in sound. Cool. Roll it up. Con save. The chief saves. And the other one, con save, fails. So the chief is going to take half. So he takes 7. And then the little Vegapygmy, which is what they're called, is basically like you hear this massive sound as your shatter goes off. And the thing immediately, like, you start to see like a green viscous ooze start to like come out of like from its eyes and its ears, and the thing just like wobbles and like tries to hold on to its spear and then just keels over dead. And it is gone. Yinkin.
I am going to lob a ball of fire.
Okay.
Specifically at the chief.
Okay. 15 does hit. You do 3 fire damage. Anything else your turn? I doubt it.
I'm going to use Shillelagh on my quarterstaff so that it's ready for next round.
Okay. Faith.
I am.
Iron Man.
No.
Fireman.
What? No. I'm gonna viciously mock the chief. I have nothing creative to say though, because brain mush. You look like an overgrown root vegetable.
Okay.
Worthy of 1 point of damage. If it works.
If it's, yeah. He saves.
Okay.
And then Sam looks up at you. He's like, first of all, you're lighting this place on fire with all your shit. And now, like, honey, we got to talk, you and I, all right? We got to talk. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. And then it's Tahira's turn.
I'm bonus action healing myself.
Oh, man. Sorry. Code.
Eh.
Is it just the case that when you do that from the spell sheet, it does that?
Yeah, I was checking the verbal semantic thing for the hellish rebuke for you, and then.
Oh no, that's fine. So like when you do it from the front page, it works, but when you go to the spells, nothing works.
If
Vicious
it's a
Mockery
spell
works.
attack one, it works. If it's a spell card output, if it's a spell attack, it doesn't work from the spell sheet. If it's a spell
No,
card
because
output,
vicious
it
mockery
does.
worked. That's where I clicked it from because I was looking at the thing.
I
I might have to re-add the spells.
I think if you delete your spells and then re-add them from the SRD, it should work.
I
Because that's
will
what I just did.
Try and do that eventually this week.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just curious.
Yeah.
So it's Tahira's turn. She is going to regaining a little bit of composure. She's going to shoot at the one that's already wounded. 13 actually just barely hits. And she actually kills that one. And now she's going to knock another arrow and shoot at the little remaining one. Also hits. And she appears to kill that one too. Now it's just the chief left. And the chief... still just ready, looks like it's still ready to fight. Like it doesn't appear to be fleeing right now. Marcus.
All right. Well, I'm going to look at the chief and in Celestial say, if you stay here, you're just going to die, and cast Cause Fear.
Okay, what does it have to roll?
Wisdom save DC 13.
It saves. So you guys hear Marcus say some weird shit, and nothing seems to happen. Gabriel.
I'm just gonna use magic missile.
So 11.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the missiles slam into him. You see like some of the green skin or whatever popping off and blowing all over the place. It is now the chief's turn. And seeing that it's not doing very well, it's going to take like a last ditch effort and it's going to run at the lot of you. It's going to use all of its 30 feet of movement, and it's just going to run at you. As it does so, you see some of its skin start to like change to like lighter greens and browns and things. And it's going to run at you.
I'd like to kind of hunker down over the Fey Dragon.
Okay. And it's going to, I don't know if this is going to hit all of you. It'll probably hit, I'll say 3 of you.
Using self-destruct.
It could be. I think it's going to go for, we'll say Faith, Yinkin, and who else is close? Marcus.
I did hit it pretty hard.
Where has Sam been? Did he just go back in the pouch?
Oh yeah, it'll hit Sam too. Yeah, because Sam's pretty small. So it'll hit Sam. So I definitely want to hit Faith because Faith has the dragon.
Yeah, that's why Faith is using her reaction to kind of like turn her back on
I
whatever's
was
about to happen.
standing near to Faith.
Okay, Marcus. Who else is close? You can like.
I'd probably be
Probably all
relatively
grouped
close.
up.
Okay, that's fine. If so it's within. It's a 15-foot cloud, so it's not small. So you all need to make a con saving throw.
Okay.
Saves. Fail. Save. Fail. I gotta make one for Sam. Giselle saves. I'm gonna have to make a character sheet. Ooh, Sam fails. Poor Sam. Okay, so let's see. GM roll. Okay, so if you fail, you take 8, and you are poisoned. I think.
Did I pass or fail?
What did you? I think you passed.
12. Okay.
Yeah, DC was 12, so you just barely pass. And it explodes out. Yeah, so Sam immediately takes 8 damage. And you're all, anyone who failed is poisoned. I feel like I need to make the dragon roll. Or...
Well, what kind of was it an explosive effect?
I mean,
or
it's a
gaseous?
it's a gas cloud.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of a devil's bargain here to make Faith take it, but yeah, I kind of feel like the dragon will take a little bit of damage here too.
I mean, maybe she still smells like brimstone from the hellish rebuke.
Well, you know what? Here's what I'll do. Because actually, that's a good point. I'm going to give you advantage on your save. Because you're on fire, right? Basically.
It's only to the end of my next turn.
Oh, shit.
You haven't had your next turn, have you? Oh, you did. 'Cause
Yeah, I did.
You did
'cause
Hellish
I-
Rebuke as a reaction, and that's
right,
what lit
and
up.
then I had my next turn. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
To the end of my next turn, yeah.
So the dragon's going to take some damage. But it's okay. It'll just start to cough and look more sickly than it does. And then Giselle, the chief, is out in center of all of you. Looks pretty bad off. And now you see these spores exploded all over you. What do? You're up.
What is Giselle gonna do? I think Giselle is gonna scorching ray this guy.
Okay. Yeah, you easily burn the thing alive with your first and third rays. Yeah, so you torch the thing. It just turns into like a tar and sort of melts against the ground. You're all left. I as Giselle kind of hits this thing. A bunch of you are coughing, spitting. The dragon is looking kind of poisoned. I think Sam basically starts to vomit from this encounter. And if I'm not mistaken, the suggestion is over because he took damage.
That is correct.
And Sam just like looks around, like, and suddenly his expression just looks like furious. You fucking assholes! You just wait. You wait. I'm gonna get my friends. That's not his accent.
I hit him with shillelagh.
I'm like,
Jersey down to Georgia.
I know, yeah. You fucking punks. Just you wait. I'm gonna
As
get my
soon
friends.
as he starts saying, I'm going to get my friends, I hit him with shillelagh.
Okay, hit him. Yeah. Now I'll give you the choice. Do you want to kill him or just knock him out?
I'll knock him out.
Okay. So you will knock him out. He is unconscious. And
Poor
he
Sam.
drops his daggers, and the Faith is holding on to this little dragon, this little cute orange dragon. All of the plant creatures are dead. You're left in this grove. What do you
I'm
do?
getting very tired of people who do not understand the idea of working together as a community.
I'm assuming I'm already kind of crouched from all the hits.
Right.
And I'm just gonna try and gently lay the dragon out to kind of check assess its damage.
Yeah.
I don't know if that'd be a nature, medicine, or arcana check.
I'll let you roll any of those three because I don't know either. I'll be honest.
I will do arcana because it is my best.
I mean,
I have no idea what to do with this thing.
you're still so sick. You're coughing. You're just watching like Yinkin knock Sam unconscious.
Eyes are watering.
Yeah, you're just not able to pull yourself together enough to figure out exactly what's going on.
Seeing that Faith is a bit out of sorts, I'm gonna
Wave Marcus
give you a
over
healing light on you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm actually going to cast Cure Wounds on the dragon.
Okay.
It's so cute.
It was down to +4, so it's I think. Yeah, so it sort of begins to flap its wings. It's still hurt, and it's still poisoned, but it appears better. You can kind of hear it, like, you know. I'm sure there's a word for the sound it's making, but it seems a little more lively, a little more energetic. It's still just like it's not trying to get out of Faith's arms or anything like that. So yeah.
Poor little thing.
Well,
Lost our guide, and we're all kind of
He's
hurt.
alive.
This might, I mean, I know, but he's not going to guide us anymore. This might be a good time to just take a quick short rest. We've been traveling for a long time, and we don't know where we're going.
I can agree with that.
Need to tend our... I don't even know what it is.
Our wounds, collectively. I'm going to use... Crap, where is it? I have like one costume left in my entertainer's pack. I'm gonna pull that out and kind of make a nest, I guess, of sorts to set the dragon in. Well, the creature in.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, hopefully it'll be at least comfortable while the rest of us kind of, I'm assuming, settle on the ground.
Okay.
Since the Sam is really small, I don't think tying him up with a rope will work. So can I take some bandages out of the healer's kit and like wrap up his legs really tightly so he can't run?
Bandage tape.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. I'll let you do that.
Maybe
I also
not
take his little
legs,
tiny
his
daggers
arms.
away.
Okay. Sure.
I say, I could probably use those for carving. That might be some really good detail work with those.
I was thinking toothpicks, but sure, I hand them
Wow.
over.
Okay.
Wow.
They're just scavengers at heart.
I guess so.
Growing up in Bastion, do you have a
Yeah.
choice?
All right, so you guys taking a rest?
Yeah, short rest.
Yeah.
I'll use Song of Rest, just humming softly, not actually playing.
Okay.
Cool.
And I get spells back on.
Okay. So you guys you take a rest. Are you sorry, are you taking is this is a long rest, right?
I think
Short.
it's a short rest.
We're taking lunch.
Oh,
I
you're
mean-
taking a short rest. Okay.
I mean, we had just woken up, had the combat, and then we traveled 6 hours with Sam, so I don't think we can long rest yet.
That's true. So you guys take a little short rest. You tie up Sam. Faith, you're creating a nest for this creature, and yeah,
Does the laughing come back while we're resting?
I think you don't hear laughing. I think what you hear is you do hear like sometimes the flapping of wings. You do hear some rustling of leaves and things, and then I think occasionally what you hear sounds like, "Aww," but distinctly not laughter.
You know, for somebody who used to be up on stage, constantly watched, you think I'd be more comfortable with having eyes all around us.
It doesn't help when you don't know where it's coming from.
Or what they are attached to.
In court, you don't know who anybody's attached to either.
I guess. Unless you're me.
Were you?
I know the secrets.
If
That's
Faith
why I'm here.
if Faith reaches out to try and pet this thing after a little bit, what's its response? Like if like almost like a cat or a dog, just kind of reach out, let it sniff me before kind of like trying to pet it.
Give me an animal handling roll.
Oh God.
Yeah, so it'll sort of sniff your fingers, and I think like as you go to pet it, it sort of like begins to lick your fingers, and it's like sniffing, and it kind of like stands up, and it's still a little weak, but it's obviously better off than it was before, and it starts distinctly like sniffing your bag.
I will totally dig in there and pull out some of my dry trail rations.
Okay.
See if it likes it.
It will take a bite or two and like chews and then just sort of like shakes its head violently and kind of spits it out. And it gives you a look that distinctly looks like, seriously?
Sorry, it's
Does
all
it
I
have sharp, pointy teeth, or does it have grinding teeth?
Let's say a little bit of both.
I haven't cast it yet, and we're going to need food, so
We could feed Sam to it.
we could. We should not, but we could.
I think Sam would probably poison it.
I offer it one of the berries as I eat one as well.
And I mean, what are the berries like? What do you imagine they taste like? I always kind of picture them as being bland and flavorless, but you tell me.
I always kind of picture it being as just a out of season blackberry or something like that. You know, it doesn't taste anywhere near as good as it should, but it doesn't taste bad.
Okay. Yeah, the little dragon creature kind of sniffs it and like chews it. And like it's reluctant. It likes it better than the dry rations, but not like a whole lot better. It's clearly not what the thing wants.
Out of curiosity, I'll hold up one of the glitter bug shells that are in my bag.
Okay.
Just to see what its reaction is to it, because it's shiny and it's technically the carapace of a creature, so maybe appetizing.
So I think it kind of like sniffs it for a second and it like shakes its head, but not like in a violent rejecting way. And then it sort of like reaches out gently with its like nose and kind of like takes it from you. And then like takes a couple steps away from you and like throws it up into the air and like flies up at it, or tries to. Its wing is still a little hurt, but it seems like it's regaining some of its strength, and kind of begins batting the shell around like it's a toy.
Oh, Faith is
that's
totally
adorable.
enchanted.
That is so cute.
And I imagine you guys have, I mean, a short rest takes you about an hour. I imagine you've been there maybe a little bit longer than that. Maybe an hour, 2 at the most. And you start to hear, go ahead.
Does the poison wear off, or are we still poisoned?
I don't know. Does a short rest cure poison? I don't think it does.
I think
Depends on how long the poison lasts.
Well, that's,
yeah, it's
It
creature
poison
specific.
creature has disadvantage, so I don't know if it's just like you're poisoned for a round, or if it's like something that needs a restorative.
Okay, give me a second. Let me take a look here. I can probably tell you. No. So you would get a saving throw at the end of each round, so none of you are poisoned. Yeah, the dragon is like batting this thing around, and you guys have been there for a little while resting. And then you start to hear some mumbling sounds. Are you fucking serious right now? You
Just be
sons of-
thankful we didn't feed you to it.
You fucking sons of bitches. You tied me up. Oh.
The other option was knocking your head off. Be thankful.
Well, when I get free, I'm gonna eat your head, man. I'm coming after you, you fucking monsters. Where you
I'm
come
gonna
here?
bite your head off if you don't shut up.
I'm not gonna shut up. You go fuck yourself. This is not how you treat people. I mean,
You attacked us.
yeah, cause you ugly. You're ugly. You're ugly as shit. Like get out of my house. Like you don't belong here. Untie me and let me go. This is ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous.
You should just
If you
hang him
want.
from a tree and leave him.
Well, he's trying to go get his friends, so why should we let him go? We should just kill
I
him.
I fucking dare you to try tie me up. You want to fight? And like he's like,
You
I'll
are
fight you.
tied
I'll
up.
fight you right now. I'll punch you in the mouth, which is what you deserve.
He's tied up, right?
He is, yes.
I'm gonna slap my hand down on him, like a bug, just whack.
Oh my God.
Are you trying to like kill him?
Oh no, just make a point.
And he turns over and you see him like spit something that you assume to be blood. He's like, oh, you're so weak. You're just hitting a man while he's all tied up. This is garbage. This is fucking ridiculous. Oh, just wait. I'm
Sorry,
gonna
honey.
tell him
I'm a
about you.
lover,
I'm gonna
not
tell
a
him,
fighter.
and he's gonna fucking get you. He's gonna tie you up and he's gonna eat all of you.
I cast hideous laughter on him.
Cast a spell because he still gets a save, I think.
Just because I want to fuck with him. I think it's
Wisdom.
an
What's your DC?
intelligence.
I think it's wisdom.
14.
Yeah, wisdom.
Listen, yeah.
So he fails, and he's like, you are so ugly, all of you. Just you wait. I'm gonna get all of you. I'm gonna murder all of you in your sleep. It's gonna be hysterically funny.
Gabriel, we can't spare all these things.
Somebody gag him at the very least.
I said hours ago we were gonna send him back home. You guys wanted to continue having him guide us.
I'm gonna stuff something in his mouth so he can't talk once he's
So yeah, you just
stops
hear
laughing.
No, what I'm saying is, you want to let it go. I don't think that we can.
You want me to try to charm him again?
No, Gabriel. I'm saying we need to kill it. It is threatening to tell something else or gather friends. We know nothing in this forest is, well, I look at the dragon. Very few things in this forest are friendly. And we already know their kind of attacked us. Letting it go would be foolish. We're not out here to make friends with everybody or everything. We're out here still to survive.
I don't like the idea of killing him outright.
Then don't. You don't have to. But I will. If it's to protect all of us at this point.
Well, if you're gonna do it, then talking to me has nothing to do with this. There's free will out here. You don't work for me.
What is your major malfunction? I'm trying to...
It sounds like you're trying to free your conscience. If you're going to murder this thing, then do it. You don't need my permission to do it.
I want to know if you see the logic in it.
I don't.
Or to understand your logic in letting it go if it's just going to bring more trouble.
My idea of letting it go was hours ago. When it would have had any recourse of reaction, it wouldn't have known where we were at.
But now, we didn't. We're at a point where, do you still want to do that? Or do you see the logic that we can't?
Aren't you asking anyone else? Why are you asking me?
Because you're the one who charmed it.
If you're asking me, then no, I don't think we should murder it.
Then what do you suggest we do with it? Let it go so it can bring friends? You're out here making friends with everything, Gabriel. I'm trying to make the point that maybe that's not always the best course of action.
It's not about making friends. We needed a guide. We were out here over a week. She didn't know how to get us anywhere. We had someone out here in the woods that lives here in the Fae, that could have taken us to where we were going.
But
You
he
don't
didn't.
think that's a logical decision? It's not about making buddies, making friends. Are you serious right now?
But it didn't get us any closer to the tower. We're still out in the middle of the woods, no nearer to it.
Well, if you want to
Something
murder
that
it, then murder it. Stop trying to make some semblance out of this. If you want to kill it, then
Please.
kill it. You don't need my permission to be a murderer. Do it.
I'll make the decision then. And I will walk up to the little dude and just get very, very... sit down in front of him, essentially, so we're closer to eye level.
I mean, he's still
No.
laughing because he's all bound up.
Giselle, could you please
Could I please what?
make him stop laughing?
Oh, it's only less a minute. He's probably done by now.
Okay.
He's
got his something stuffed in his mouth, and he's just like staring at you. Like you can tell, like he's got death in his eyes. Like he just wants to kill you.
Yeah. I'm going to take the whatever is in his mouth out of his mouth.
What?
You
What you
heard
want? You
their
gonna kill me?
argument.
Just do it. Do it. I dare you.
No, actually, I'm not going to kill you.
Good. Then let me go and let's stop all this fucking talking.
No. You're going to give me an oath that you're not going to do anything against us, because right now, and I'm going to light up my staff again so it starts glowing. Right now, the only thing standing between you and being a splatter on the floor is Gabriel and I think.
And he spits in your face.
I have kids. You don't even, until you can piss in my face while my mouth is open, I don't even care.
Oh, don't worry. My aim's pretty good, especially when I'm not tied up. Cowards. All of you cowards.
Says the one who attacked from stealth. So go and run, little coward. And
Good.
I'm
Let me
gonna
go.
Just break it. I break the binding on his foot.
Yeah, and so you break his bonds entirely?
He doesn't have any weapons. I took them.
And
What do you...
he gets up.
I'm
He's
gonna
like,
magic missile him.
he's just like,
Okay.
he's just like, fuck all of you. And he goes to run. And Giselle, before you have an opportunity to do that, you see shimmering in multiple points near him. Like he bolts for the jungle. He's gonna get out. And suddenly you see these shimmers, and he like skids to a halt. Oh, of course you come to their fucking defense, you fucking horse. And suddenly you all see as these small creatures, these small female creatures that some of you have seen up until this point, sort of like shimmer into light. And all of them suddenly like begin to do something with their hands. And he turns back to all of you and he just flips you off. Just wait. I'm gonna get yours. Just fucking wait. And like you see them like all sort of sprinkle him with some dust. He's like, you fucking, I'm gonna, and he like yawns really loud. And like you hear, he. He's like, just you, and he's still got he's got his fingers, his middle fingers up, both of them just pointed at all of you. And he starts to wobble. He's like, I fucking hate you. And he just like falls over and he's just immediately snoring on the ground. And
Wow.
and one of the small creatures like flies over and pulls a little leaf up onto him like a blanket and just like disappears and flies off. And he's just snoring completely, just out cold.
Wow.
And as these small female creatures sort of like disappear again, you Faith, you see the dragon suddenly like perks up and looks around, and it like flies off, and you still see it. It's within within shot of you, like you can still see it, and it kind of flies into some leaves, and you hear a bunch of like and like the dragon appears to be chasing something through the leaves. And your little ex-friend Sam is sound asleep. Tahira looks absolutely bedraggled, like just totally confused.
Perhaps we should move on now.
I agree. And I'm going to look specifically at Faith. I'm not entirely opposed to what you're saying, but that's a road I'm not willing to travel down, just killing a captive. In combat, in self-defense, that's fine. As a preemptive measure, to just anything that might be a threat, admittedly, this one is a definite threat, and I will give you that. But anything then what might be a threat gets killed, and then what could eventually be a threat gets killed. I'm not walking that path.
Then maybe we shouldn't charm things that start out as a threat.
And I just
And Faith just starts, she just kind of. Do we have a direction that we're walking? We stopped to rest, and now I'm not sure.
That's up to you guys.
We chase after the dragon.
The dragon's just like flying in circles. Like it's not flying in a
Okay.
direction away. It's just it appears to be playing with something it's chasing through the trees.
Sam had given us a direction that we were traveling in.
He did.
But he also said the thing moved. Just
Were we
here.
changing directions throughout our travel, or were we pretty much in a solid direction?
He was pretty much going in a solid direction. At least it felt like that.
Yeah, if he gave us a good general direction, I don't see any reason to deviate from that.
Same.
Okay. So you guys continue on.
Before they leave the grove where they were resting, Giselle's gonna turn to where the dragon is chasing something, and she's just gonna kind of give him a little curtsy. Thank you, little friends.
And you can just blink, nod to wherever he last saw the little tiny female type creatures.
Mm-hmm.
Faith's just gonna kind of walk quietly with the rest.
Okay. Yeah, you guys begin to walk off. Giselle, you say that. The dragon is still near you, but it seems to be chasing something. And as you're walking away, Giselle, something falls on your head, and you kind of reach up, and it just appears to be like a bright kind of lavender flower that's opened up. It's got these like seed pods. It's beautiful, and it's just a flower that's been dropped on your head.
Ooh, that's pretty. She'll like tuck it behind her.
Okay. All right.
Doesn't really go with my hair. But it's so pretty.
Yeah. So you guys continue on in a direction that you believe to be where Sam was leading you. And why don't we take our break? Because it is 5:00.
Yes.
Oh, good. I need to pee. Thank you.
Alrighty.
Me
I'm
too.
I'm gonna mute. Remind me to unmute us when we come. But good. We will be back in about 10 minutes. We'll say about 10 after. And if anyone's watching, we'll see you then. I'm going to restart the stream here. And you guys can just carry it. So way to go. All right. So coming back in.
Make sure you unmute it.
I did.
I was just about to do that.
I did. Thank you. I actually remembered for a change. So coming back in, you guys had some dealings in the jungle here, and you're moving on, presumably, right?
Yeah.
Moving in the general direction that you were headed in when Sam was still with the party. But you guys so ungratefully kicked him out, which is just rude. Incredibly rude.
We didn't kick him out. He threatened to kill us.
I mean, yeah, but come on now. Man's got to make a living. I don't know why that matters, but we'll go with it. So yeah, you start heading off in that direction. Dragon is still kind of around you and seems to be floating around, and you just begin to hike for a while. And yeah, is that all you do? You're just traveling in that direction?
Staying
So-
conscious of our surroundings as well. There's a lot of weird stuff out here.
I'm specifically looking for trying to keep an eye on the little females that have been flying around and laughing.
Or the dragon. Since that seems to be a good indication. Giselle, do you think your sparkles can look for the tower?
Mr. Sprinkles might be able to. I can
Just-
just bring him back.
Just a quick look. It's
Sure.
not.
I'll summon Mr. Sprinkles back from his little retreat.
Okay. And yeah, you summon Mr. Sprinkles back, and I think the first thing you hear in your head is like, ugh, we're still here.
I know, Mr. Sprinkles, but we need your help.
Why? It's so close here. I just want to be...
It's the Fae.
That makes it worse, not better.
But you are a Fae creature.
Apparently not. And this weather is disgusting.
Well, we need you to fly up and see if you can tell where the tower is. At least a direction.
Of course. Just summon me. Tell me to look for a tower and then dismiss me. It's fine. It's not a problem.
Well,
It won't-
you are familiar. You only exist to do my will.
Are you
Ugh.
arguing with your magic?
That is
You
our
are a
relationship.
manifestation of my magic.
Of course, yes.
She's arguing with her magic.
You are in complete control of me, and I am not. I have no input in my own destiny, of course. Please, like you can almost hear him rolling his eyes in your head.
She just kind of laughed.
Wish I could hear this
Just
guy.
please.
I expect better
I mean,
treatment.
he can talk. He's a raven, so he can't actually talk.
But he doesn't. He chooses not to.
Mm-hmm.
Also, wouldn't he talk with mimicry then? So it wouldn't be French.
Mhm.
It would be like your voice.
I'd be talking to myself.
And I always assume that you speak aloud to it, so sorry.
I totally do.
So,
And it just says to you, Giselle, like, I expect better treatment than this. I'm not a slave. And it just like flies off through the leaves. And for a moment, you, Faith, you see the dragon kind of like perk up and like look at it, and it begins to give chase.
oh nope, that's a friend of ours. Don't chase.
And like as you say
Let him
that,
go ahead.
as you said that, it actually stops and looks at you, Faith. Like it very clearly, consciously stops when you say that, and it turns and looks at you.
Oh, you can understand me.
And like it doesn't respond. It just kind of hovers there, and then you hear like, and then it like flies off in a different direction.
Wait. What just happened?
Well, it's a fake creature.
You say that like that's supposed to mean something other than dangerous.
Well, they're usually a little bit more intelligent than beasts in the material plane, aren't they? At least that's what they seem. I mean, elves are more intelligent than humans, aren't we? It makes sense.
You haven't noticed I'm not human, and I'm not. I'm going to withhold comment on that.
I've met many humans smarter than myself, Giselle, and probably a few smarter than you.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, we already know we're all smarter than her because that one thing that she did on the frogs that said only works on people dumber than her didn't work on any of us.
Little friend, little dragon friend, if you can understand me, or maybe the gigglers. We're looking for the tower. Maybe you guys could help us, since you haven't tried to kill us yet. And she's just like looking around, wide-eyed.
And yeah, you're hearing this giggling in the distance. You don't really get much of a response. For a moment, the dragon seems to be like chasing something, and then it like whizzes past your head, and it kind of makes this like weird calling sound, and then just keeps chasing something off. And then
now they're mocking me.
And then Mr. Sprinkles responds to you, Giselle, and it says again in your head, yes, I see the tower. It is far away that way. And just like, that's like all he says.
Can I take over his senses so I can see myself?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, and he's
So
just
I'll
like,
take over it.
he's just kind of like circling up above you in the sky. And for the first time, you can really see it. You can see the sky for the first time, unfiltered, no canopy of trees. And it's simultaneously like possibly the most beautiful thing you've ever seen, but also the most haunting. On one side, you just see an ever rising sun. The sky is just beautiful and orange, just blue above it, and it looks like it's going to crest at any moment. And on the other side, it's twilight. You're seeing stars and dark, deep purples that as the sun is just cresting down below the horizon line. And it gives the whole land this really odd glow. And looking off far generally in the direction you've been heading, you do see a tower. It still looks considerably far away, several days' travel at least. But you're able to see it now in a different light. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, you saw the tower before what you reached was the Fae, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that's how we found the Elven village accidentally-ish.
So when you saw it back in the material plane, as it were, it just looked like a kind of a tower. It looked kind of white. You could barely. It looked maybe brickish, just like the most bland, plain tower. Nothing about it. On this side, that's not what it looks like. It looks like a spiral that rises several stories above the forest. It looks very much as you sort of assume elven architecture should look. A lot of spirals, white. You can actually see what appears to be kind of a long strip of gold that seems to spiral around to the top. It seems to catch the light in a way quite literally unlike anything you've ever seen. It's beautiful. It's haunting and beautiful, and you almost can't pull your eyes away from it. It's
Wow. Well, we're going the right direction.
Jill, that's a tree!
What?
You're seeing through the eyes of the crow, but we're still moving, I think.
Oh, ow.
Just like grab guide.
She just kind of like clings to whoever's closest to her. Oh, I forgot. I always forget. I don't do that very often. We're going in the right direction, but it looks different. Like a spiral? It's very beautiful. It's several days away though,
Days still?
at least.
Last time it was days away, we didn't get there in time.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's Tahira's opinion on all this? Is she like snapped out of her rigidity?
She does seem to have regained some of her composure. Just crossing over into the Fae was obviously pretty shocking for her. She was expecting it, but how do you expect the unexpected kind of thing? She seems to have, she's regained a bit of her composure, though. She just kind of shakes her head. She says, there are stories. So many stories. Travel here, time, it's not right. It's impossible to say how long it'll take us to get there. Some elves have traveled here and never come back. Some have left for a day and come back presumably years older. And she just shrugs. I don't know.
Sounds like fun.
Kind of wish I'd known that before we came in here.
I'm sorry. I thought you knew the dangers, but it's best we press on, I think. It doesn't us no good to just stand still.
That's all we can do at this point.
Agreed.
Exactly. And you guys kind of continue on and travel for another probably several hours. At some point, Faith, the dragon kind of like swoops down and it looks kind of tired. Like you can tell it's just like needs a little bit of rest. It kind of tries to nest itself in your hair. Like it's going to use your horns to try to create kind of like a little nest for itself so that it can just like rest.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, my neck is gonna be so stiff.
And it kind of like pulls up on some of your hair to try to like rearrange it to nest. And it's not like a huge weight, but I mean, it's noticeable for sure.
Yeah. I twitch. I can see like she puts her hands up occasionally, like to steady it or her hair or something. And now
That's
she's just kind
super
of walking very awkwardly. This is okay. I can deal with this.
Okay. So yeah, you guys travel. And again, time here means much less, so it's extremely difficult to tell how long you've been traveling, what time of day it is. You're going to have to kind of work on rests by literally how you feel rather than, how much time has passed.
Her internal clocks.
Yeah.
Which essentially means Gabriel, Marcus, and I. Because elves, 4-hour trans, move on.
Yeah. Although I'm pretty sure that elves still have to take an 8-hour rest in order to benefit.
Yeah, it's like 4 hours trance, 4 hours guarding
Gotcha.
or light activity.
Okay, cool.
Otherwise, elves would be crazy powerful.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you guys travel for a number of hours, and then do you rest? Do you just try to figure it out? Like,
given the situation, I think Faith would be the first one to bemoan the situation. Guys, this thing's a little heavy, and I'd like to lay my head down for a bit, maybe.
Perhaps we could make some sort of sling for you to carry it in.
Maybe, but I'm also very tired.
Hmm.
I wouldn't mind a little actual sleep.
Fair enough.
I know you two don't need the same kind of rest, but
It's fine. My feet are sore.
did I just hear a cat? That's not mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wasn't mine?
So is there any place that looks like that we can settle, or is it all still just like deep jungle? Is there any obstacles, caves, something, anything?
There's no, excuse me, there's definitely no caves here. But traveling long enough, you could probably find like another kind of grove. They're more plentiful, it seems like, here in the Fae than they were in the material plane. You can find more open areas and stuff that still not open to the sky in the same way. You still got this thick canopy overhead. But yeah, like you could find some more open areas and things for sure.
It's the next open area we come across.
Does
Yeah.
the Fae have snakes?
There's definitely snakes here.
Oh no.
Right. Once we find the grove, Faith will make the nest again. Like she'll crouch and pull out the costume and then just like carefully try to lift this thing off her head and place it in the nest.
Yeah, and it kind of fights you at first. Like it doesn't want to get out of your hair. Like it was comfortable. It got itself comfortable. But after a moment, it kind of like, lets you pull it down and put it in the nest that you've made.
Yeah, and Faith will just like plop a spot next to the nest. And then try to fix her hair.
Okay. Are you guys taking watches?
Yep.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
What's the order?
It's always like sunset right now.
Yeah,
Is that the-
it's always it's basically permanent twilight, like sunrise and sunset. It's both at all times.
Zell would have described to you what she saw above the canopy.
I'll take first watch.
Okay. So Yinkin's taken first by himself.
I
mean, I think-
guess I could take first watch with you.
Like Tahira can take a watch too. So
Yeah, I don't think we need to pair.
Well, actually, if the owls take the first two watches, then
Yeah.
we can pair me, Faith, Gabriel, and Tahira in some way for the next 4 hours.
Well, Tahira is also an elf, so
right.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So technically, if Yinkin and Giselle take first, then Tahira can take. They take first and second. She could take third and fourth, and you could pair someone with her if you wanted, or you don't have to.
I mean, I'll take last shift if I need.
I'll take a third watch just so we have
Okay.
choose its eyes all night.
Okay. Sure. So
Faith complained about being tired, so I'm gonna be a bitch and say I don't take one.
okay.
You're carrying a new friend, so
Yeah.
Has my flower wilted?
No, actually.
Interesting. If she notices it starts to wilt, she'll put it in her book, by the way.
Okay.
So press it. Uh,
Yeah. So yeah, you guys start to take watch. Giselle and Yinkin take first watch and second, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so why don't the two of you make me a perception check? Okay. Giselle's kind of like bound up with her flower and everything else. She's maybe a little just taken in, let's say, by the sights and the sounds and everything else. You've never experienced anything like this. Maybe it's a bit overwhelming for you, maybe.
probably.
Yinkin, you're up. You're listening to the sounds of the jungle. You're hearing, snakes and frogs and birds up above, and kind of watching the dragon like fall asleep next to Faith. And you actually, I think you see, because you're so so perceptive, at least for the moment, that a couple of those small like female creatures, like more of them have like arrived and seem to be watching you, like from more like from the shadows, but you can still see them. They kind of shimmer. And like if you catch the if you make eye contact with one of them, like they immediately blush, laugh, and then just disappear. And like occasionally you'll see the dragon kind of perk its head up like it's hearing it, and then sort of like lays its head back down to fall back asleep.
Just smile, and they're not harmful, so but
Mm-hmm. I mean, they don't seem to be. Yeah.
before my watches end, considering I've already given the party good berries and I've given the dragon one, I think that means I have a couple of extra. I'll leave them out for our little friends.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so like you guys are taking your watches, and like you lay those out, Yinkin, and I think a couple of the little creatures kind of like fly over and like grab a berry and disappear. And then a few minutes later you hear laughter, and you see that like 2 or 3 of them are having like a food fight with your berries. They're like throwing at each other's faces and everything. You see that they're like covered in berries.
I will just chuckle.
Okay. Yeah, your watches seem to pass uneventfully. Yeah, and then third is Tahira and Marcus.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can just be woken by the elves, and they'll wake you up for your watch.
During my watch, I want to try and climb a tree to see if I can get above the canopy and see the tower for myself.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Give me a. Since you're specifically looking for the tower, we'll just say that'll be like your perception check, I guess. So yeah, you can make me a perception check for the tower. Okay. Yeah, because of the way the light works here, you're still able to see it. It's still quite a ways away, but you do see, because it's so bright with the white and the gold and everything.
Oh, I can actually see really well now.
Oh, did you take
all the time? Yeah, I took Devil's Sight as one of my Eldritch Invocations.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you can see it. It's pretty clear. You do kind of see something. It's really, really dim. Like it's hard for you to make out. The detail of it's just not there. But it looks like above the tree line, you're seeing what look like small little lights that are going to the tower, and some that are like going away. It looks like traffic almost. And there's not a lot of them. It's not like a huge amount of traffic. It's just a few coming, from one direction, a few leaving.
Does it seem like the lights, to continue the traffic analogy, does it seem like they're going on roads, or they're kind of just going in any direction?
Like they're going in any direction.
Okay.
And yeah, you see that. And then I will make a perception check for Tahira. I don't think she's going to do very well, but yeah, no, she did not do very well. So she's a little just focused, looking around, like watching as she wakes up probably to Yinkin like playing with the little creatures. And so she's just sort of watching them, and she doesn't really see anything all night. Yeah, so you spend your time climbing this tree and perceiving out, and at the end of your watch. Sorry, I'm just thinking about a thing. What is that? Whoops. Oh, never mind. Okay. Yeah, so your watch ends, and then Gabriel can be woken. By Marcus, and then you can take your watch. Yeah, you're seeing more of the same. Occasionally you'll see, the little creatures kind of flying around or giggling or something. I think as your Giselle's kind of sleeping, I think that a couple of the creatures go over and like start to like braid her hair. And you see that the dragon like starts to wake up and then like puts itself back to sleep. You're seeing off in the distance a few lights that are bobbing up and down and you know, kind of appearing and disappearing. Tahira will make a perception check. She rolled pretty well. I think that Tahira sees a couple of these lights that they seem to be congregating a little bit, all in the general like same direction. Tahira starts to like head out in their direction, like she wants to go investigate. Gabriel, you see her doing this. Do you want to stop her or say anything?
Not really stop her. Maybe pay attention to what's happening. Almost follow.
Okay, you're gonna actually follow her.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, she kind of like wanders away from camp, and you see these lights start to like blink out, and then they blink back into existence further out. So she, you know, she's armed, like she's got her bow ready, and she's just kind of like tracking it. And she goes out probably like quarter mile, half mile away from camp. Like she gets pretty far away. Do you continue to follow?
Oh, we get, yeah, for what looks like she's just gonna keep going. I'm gonna kind of talk to her like, hey, you know, what are you doing? Where are we going?
She, like, did you make it known that you were following, or were you trying to like hide behind her? Like,
At first, I probably would have just seen where she was going, like maybe she saw something and she was going to check it out, so I kind of followed. But yeah, I wouldn't wait till it was like a quarter of a mile. But yeah, once we started to really get out away from camp, I would have been like, where are we going? What are you doing?
I've heard stories about these things, and I just thought I would investigate. It said that sometimes they can lead you to treasure or desire. Sometimes she kind of shrugs.
We've run into a lot of dangerous stuff since we've been out here. We can't just be walking around by ourselves.
I've heard about this place my entire life, and I just want answers. I'm sorry.
Can I insight her? Is she more or less to see if she's of her right mind or if something's trying to control her?
Yeah, she seems like mostly in her right mind. You do get the impression that like something seems off. Like I don't think you can tell that like something is necessarily manipulating her, but there's definitely something off about it, for sure.
Yeah, this is not something we should be doing on our own. We need to go back. If you want to follow this, we need to get the others. We can't be out here by ourselves.
She kind of like shakes her head. No, you're right. You're right. It's fine. And like she turns to walk back with you, and like for a moment you see like her gaze her gaze goes back over her shoulder, and she's like looking at the lights that are still kind of like bobbing on and off in that direction, and it's like she kind of has to shake it off, and she'll come back with you to camp.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys head back to camp.
Scary.
And yeah, you guys take a long rest. All of you benefit from the long rest. You all get your spells back and your hit points back, and some of your hit dice. Why did? Oh, that's why. Oh, I guess that would have helped. Yeah. Well, you know, Sean forgets to do like really, really simple things sometimes. All right, so you guys take a long rest, and you're back up. Pretty early on in the morning, Faith, you feel the dragon like start to get kind of like antsy, like it wants to jump about. That like as it's waking up, you see it like stretch and it yawns, and it starts like bouncing around, like it's like a puppy trying to get out like some energy from sleeping, you know?
Yeah. So, and Faith will kind of wake up and kind of blink at it, forgetting for a moment that, like, this is real, like, maybe it was a dream, and then just kind of, well, you don't have to wait for me, go on, and I'll actually toss another one of those glittering gold glitter bug things from my bag. I'll just like toss it into the air for it.
Yeah, and so you toss it up, and for a moment, like it's jumping around and it's distracted, and suddenly you see one of those small creatures, which I'm just going to call pixies because you all know they're pixies. One of the pixies kind of like pops into existence and like snatches it and like waves it in front of the dragon, and it's just like hee hee, and the dragon like turns and you see its tail begin to wag, and it just like flies off after the pixie. And the pixie starts throwing it to other pixies, and they're like playing keep away with the dragon. The dragon seems to be enjoying it greatly.
I wish I had pixies
That's
that
too
could
adorable.
play with cats for me. They wouldn't bug me all the time.
I know that feeling.
Gisella's feeling her hair like, what on earth happened? What?
Yeah, there's like a bunch of weird, like some of them are very poorly done braids in your hair.
I think I need to teach them how to braid hair.
Oh, I feel so much better.
She'll leave the braids in her hair though.
Okay.
It's like when your kid braids your hair, you leave it in.
Anything interesting happened in the night?
The little ones had a food fight. It was about the most interesting thing during my watch.
Maybe Tahira wants to tell us about what happened last night.
She like looks at you a little sternly. She says, "Nothing happened. I just wanted to take a walk."
Insight check.
Okay. Yeah, she's something about that's not accurate. Like she did want to take a walk, but there's definitely something else going on.
Tahira, we're allies. Why? What did you want to walk towards? Or why?
I just... And she like looks at all of you who I imagine are just like all staring at her. I heard something. I heard someone calling to me. It's nothing. I know it's nothing. It's just... It's fine. I'm fine.
You
Okay.
told me that there was something that would show you treasures or show you your desires.
There's the answer to my question.
What is it that
Treasure?
does that?
Stories. They're stories. Things that I've heard. They're probably not true. Sometimes people would say that things over here would... If you were deserving, they would light your way. Quite literally at times. And, well, you saw Gabriel.
Saw what?
I didn't see anything.
The lights. They were...
Just the lights?
I saw some lights last night too. I mean, I climbed to the top of the canopy, and it looks like there are things maybe moving to and from the tower.
Are they carrying anything, or just?
I
balls of
mean,
light?
just as far. I mean, it's still far, but all I could see was the lights. I don't know if it's the lights like our little, giggling friends, or if it's lights of people carrying torches. I couldn't tell.
I think you've
Tahira,
heard
we're
more
not
than
trying to
stories.
judge you or make you think you did something wrong, but I think it's something you would have needed to involve all of us in.
I'm sorry. I said I was sorry. This is a lot to take in for me. I'm sorry.
You're not alone there.
I'm sure you as well as I. And she kind of gestures specifically to Giselle and Marcus and Yinkin. You've all heard stories. This is where our people are from.
Yeah, I haven't.
Well, I'm sorry. I have.
You were exceptionally excited to do this before we even left your home. And now you're wandering off by yourself, saying that you heard someone calling to you and telling us that you heard stories about desires and wishes and things of that nature. So I think just to clear the air, what do you actually think you will find?
Give me a persuasion check.
Can I inspire him?
How do you inspire him?
With a nudge and a wink.
No.
Shit.
If you
No,
She just
I'm not
shrugs.
persuasive.
She says, we all have desires, wants. I'm sorry. Can we just move past this, please? I won't. It won't happen again.
Sure.
If you see something, say something.
That's kind of gross. Yeah, she just she tries to drop it.
On the road again.
Okay.
Yep.
So you guys begin to travel in the same direction you've been heading, and the weather, as much as it has been, sounds are much as they have been. As you're kind of traveling along, the dragon still appears to be playing with the pixies, and it's playing for like an hour or so, and they're still kind of playing keep away, and the fairy dragon is still playing, but I think at some point you hear kind of from around you. It's the direction is not necessarily easy to tell at first. You hear what sounds distinctly like a lion's roar. It's quite loud. It shakes some of the trees, or like it gives that impression. And suddenly you kind of see as the dragon like returns, and it has that little chip that you gave it, Faith, in its mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of like nests in your head again, and it like drops the shell into your hand. Like it wants you to take it.
I will take it and tuck it.
It kind of makes this like purring sound when you do.
Okay. I'll kind of like again just kind of reach up and pat it, but I want to look around for whatever the hell caused that sound. And the dragon doesn't seem frightened. Like, did the roar cause the dragon to return any?
I mean, it's hard to tell.
Or is it just coincidental timing?
You don't know. You could try to figure it out if you want to try to make a roll or something.
I don't know if I can insight something on my head.
Yeah, I don't think insight would help you
Well,
here.
it's purring. It's settled. It doesn't seem. I don't think I'd look too far into that. But I still would like to look around to see if I can find the source of the roar, or do a perception check in general.
Yeah, you give me a perception check.
Nope.
Nope. You have no idea. Yeah, I mean, you all heard the sound, and then dragon came back, and that was it.
Does the dragon seem scared?
Nope.
Oh.
Okay.
No point waiting for something to come across.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep that little chip in my fingers and just kind of like play with it as we walk.
Okay. So you guys continue moving through the jungle, and a few hours pass. It's hot. It's muggy. You know. At some point in your travels, you can sound what sounds distinctly like rushing water. You don't see anything at first, but you can definitely hear it. It's loud, and it's getting louder the closer you get.
Do Marcus or I remember seeing waterfall or anything between here and the tower?
Nope.
Or a river?
Mm-mm. Because the canopy is so thick, there's no way. At least you don't think
Sure.
there's a way that you could see. Ooh, that's a better one. Yeah, so you're hearing this. If this is too loud, you let me know.
Would anybody be opposed to finding the source of that sound and perhaps stopping for a bath? It's
That
been
sounds wonderful. But what if it's enchanted?
What?
What if it's enchanted water and something bad happens to it?
Why would the water be enchanted?
Everything here is enchanted. There's freaking living plant dudes. I got my hair braided by some kind of little women.
So are we not supposed to bathe while we're here?
Maybe we should check it well before we get into it. I'm just saying.
Maybe we should find it first.
Yeah.
I mean,
Let's not just go jumping into strange rivers.
You
I
are
mean-
more likely to do that than me.
I think the expression there, Giselle, you were looking for is "don't go chasing waterfalls," but close enough.
Yes.
So-
Stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to.
Oh my god. Anyway,
Dude, I did a whole dance routine to that in middle school. Terrifying.
so yeah, you it's not hard to find. I mean, just the sound of it alone, it'll be easy for you to navigate to. So yeah, you start getting closer. It's getting louder and louder and louder, and before long, you see kind of a break in the trees, and you see this fairly large river. Where you're at, I mean, it could be. It's hard to gauge. 50, 70 feet across. It's pretty wide, and the water's moving pretty well. And on the far side of the river, you see this kind of like open. It's like more of an open grove. It kind of looks like it was crafted, right? Like it looks like it was intentional. Like you can see almost what look like rocks that might be used for seats. A center section where you don't see it, but you can imagine that there would be like a fire pit there. It looks pretty intentional to you.
Why am I getting Hobbit vibes all of a sudden?
Too good to be true. You were talking about enchanted water. Now I'm paranoid about
Yeah.
everything.
Giselle, do you want to send your familiar back up?
Sure.
Just see where we are in relation to the tower and this water, and if we have to cross it, or
Sure. Well, maybe I'll have him follow the river up and down a little bit too, see if there's a easier place to ford.
yeah, that's a good idea.
Right.
You're pretty
I'll
smart
do
after
that.
all.
I have 200 IQ.
What's an IQ?
Idiot quotients?
Nobody would get that joke. That's a sad thing.
Anyway, so yeah, that's what you're doing?
Yep.
Okay. So you summon Mr. Sprinkles again, and where are you gonna send him? Like up above?
First I'm gonna send him up above to scout out what's going on up there. And then I'm gonna send him up and down the river to see if he can find a narrower place, or like a place that looks like it might be more shallow, or even like some place that has a boat.
Okay. So first you send him up above, and he very quickly indicates to you that no, in fact, you seem to be heading in the right direction now. Like it's clear that the tower is beyond the river, and you're very probably going to have to cross it.
Yeah.
And then you send him along the river.
Yeah.
Again, he indicates to you that in all probability, like the river is quite wide the whole way up. As far as you send him, I mean, you send him what, a mile or so.
Yeah. Not like terribly far, but like far enough to. It would be extremely inconvenient for us to go that far out of our way.
Right. Yeah, and it seems pretty wide. You definitely don't see any boats.
Well, I think this is our best bet, guys. We are right on course, though.
What is our best bet?
This spot right here. It's pretty wide and pretty deep all the way around. And there's no boats anywhere along the shore.
So swimming is the only option.
Well, maybe not swimming.
Building a raft.
Can you fly?
Not yet. There's a spell for that in my book, but I can't cast it.
I don't think we'd be able to get across with everyone doing that, though.
Probably not.
I can get a rope across and try and help pull people across.
What about the canopy overhead? It was thick enough that we couldn't see the river. Is it thick enough to, like, climb up a tree and try and shimmy across?
That'll be disastrous.
That would require a significant, like, acrobatics check. That would require significant work.
Yeah.
But it's potentially possible.
I mean,
Maybe for you.
how does
Yeah,
Mercer,
I
how
mean,
does
I'm pretty
Mercer
good
put
at-
it?
You can try.
You can try. Yeah, you can
Does
certainly try.
anybody have a grappling hook?
A what?
A grappling hook.
A what?
A grappling hook.
Faith doesn't know what that is.
It's a rope with like a hook on the end.
Why would you
Just rope, I'm afraid.
I mean, I've got the fishing pole.
Yeah, I have rope. That's it.
Does anybody have anything we could make a hook out of? I could have Mr. Sprinkles fly over to a tree on the other side.
There's fuck. Pause.
Ladies,
Rewind.
gentlemen, I can get a rope to the other side. This is not a problem.
Okay.
So can I.
Okay then.
Assuming I can hit the tree with the crossbow.
Okay.
How wide is wide?
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
50 to 70 feet or something.
Yeah, I mean, why don't you give me a perception check?
While they're doing that, can I do an Arcana check on the river?
Give me a second. Faith, yeah, I mean, we'll say 60, 65 feet.
So we'd have to tie rope together, which would make it hard. Shoot.
Giselle, what are you trying to ascertain with an Arcana check?
I want to know if this river, if the water is enchanted in some way.
Okay.
Like, is it gonna fucking make us fall asleep if we fall in it like Bomber did, or is it gonna curse us or some shit?
You could try to give me an Arcana check.
Alright, let me bring my sheet up.
Seems like a river.
Wow. I'm gonna take a drink.
I'm gonna take the rope off of my pack and ask for anybody else because you said it's like more than 60 feet.
Yeah, I'll
Somebody
take out
else?
my rope.
What if we do
Start
this?
making a
As
nice
opposed to
tight-
trying to tie it all the way across, why don't we tether ourselves to each other and then try to make it across? If someone slips or if someone gets in trouble,
I can get across with very little problem unless the river is much faster than I think it is. And then I was going to tether it to a tree and have you all tie it to each other.
okay.
How do you plan on getting... Oh, right. Wait, can wolves swim?
No, but I know many creatures that can. We grew up on the coast.
So wait, you can turn into other
Wait,
things?
are you high enough to swim
Would-
for swimming?
Would those things be able to carry a rope while you were swimming?
I thought swimming was 6.
I saw a giant crocodile, and swimming is 4.
Okay.
Okay.
Here's some rope.
Yeah, we tie all our ropes together, I assume. Sean might be muted.
No, I mean, that's
Okay.
fine. I'm just... And so you're tying your ropes together, and one of you is... And Yinkin is going to swim it across?
He's gonna crocagator it.
I'm going to turn into a crocodile and swim across. I have a tail now.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you turn into a crocodile. Let's see. Do we have stats? Are you a giant crocodile or just a crocodile?
Depends on what the CR of a giant crocodile is.
Oh, unfortunately, Sean can't spell crocodile. Apparently, giant croc. It's a 5. Challenge rating of a giant crocodile.
Oh,
is
I
5.
definitely can't do a giant then. Regular crocodile.
Let's see. Crocodile CR is 1/2. So yeah, you can definitely swim across. Excuse me. You can attempt to swim across. So the water's moving pretty fast. I mean, you can swim.
I will inspire him for this one and just kind of pat him on his scaly head and say, "We're all depending on you. You can do this. Swim like the toothy beast you are."
Okay. Now, holding your breath is not going to be an issue. Crocodiles can hold their breath for 15 minutes. But you are going to need to make me, I think, a strength check just to see if you're strong enough in this form to get across and to hold the rope.
Okay.
So your strength modifier for a crocodile is +2. So if you want to roll me a d20 +2. And you'll have inspiration too, so...
I'm not going to use the inspiration.
So you jump into the water, and you had an
Still
expectation.
swimming. I'm just going with the flow.
That's the thing. So you jump in. You have an expectation about how strong the water is. You massively underestimate it. So as soon as you hit the water, it just sweeps you downriver. Like it sweeps you 6 seconds down the river, which is considerable, considering how fast the water's moving, and you're not able to, like, you're trying to gain some traction or what have you. It's a lot more difficult than you were expecting. So the rest of you watch for 6 seconds as Yinkin turns into a crocodile, puts the rope in his mouth, jumps in, loses the rope. So now you have the rope on your end. I'm not saying you lose the rope, but he doesn't have it in his mouth, and the crocodile just sort of floats downriver. Yinkin, you sort of float down, about 30 feet or so. Yeah, you guys watch as he like floats away. What do you do?
He's only 30 feet away?
Well, it's probably faster than that. So we'll say like 50 feet.
Okay, then I'm going to use Mage Hand, my movement, and the Mage Hand movement, which would be 60 total, to get the rope back to the crocodile. If I can.
Hold on. What? Oh, so you're using the mage hand to lift the rope to him.
Right. But I have a 30-foot range on my Mage Hand, so I have to be within 30 feet of.
So you're running along.
him,
You're running
of
along.
Yinkin.
You're running along the water to get close enough to him to cast the spell to get the rope to him.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So you can try to do that. Yinkin, you're probably going to have to roll to try to get the rope.
It's a Mage Hand. He can just bite it.
Oh, that's right.
Not
You're
worrying
right.
about
You're
hurting.
right. I'm
Chomp.
sorry. Okay, so yeah, you grab the rope. You're going to need to make me another strength check to try to get it across.
Yep.
That's a lot better. So yeah, at this point you have the rope, and you're coming up on getting to the end of it, and you're able to finally figure out, like, because this is the first time you turned into a crocodile, right? So you're like,
this is completely new to me. I was bullshitting almost the entire time, and no one called me on it.
you what? Oh yeah.
I was bullshitting about being how sure I was.
Yeah, so you're like trying to paddle, and you're trying to figure out how the crocodile is supposed to move. And it takes you a little while to figure out. It's not easy for you to get across, but now you're able to actually swim and figure out how to move a little bit with the current. You sort of climb up on the other side, and you're like exhausted in crocodile form. Like you can feel it. And you're a little bit, I think Faith can see you, but everyone else is a little far. They're at the edge of your vision.
I'm holding onto the other end of the rope tightly, by the way.
Okay. And so, yeah, you crawl up on the land on the other side, Yinkin, and you've got the rope in your mouth as a crocodile. What do you do?
Get off like the shore itself, get a little bit inland, and find somewhere I can anchor the rope to, a nice sturdy tree, something like that.
Okay. Why don't you give me an investigation check?
Can I use my passive investigation?
Yeah, you're looking for something pretty specific here. Yeah, so you start looking around trying to find like a good place to brace the rope that'll tie well, that'll hold well. And it takes you a moment, and you're in this open area, but you're kind of on the edge of it looking into more jungle. And you see that like there appears to be kind of like a small I don't want to call it a pond, but that's kind of what it is. Like there's like a small body of water just past this open area that your friends can't see. And as you kind of look and you're looking for the tree or whatever, you see this little body of water. And there you see this beautiful young elven woman. Dark brown skin, like caramel skin, dark black hair that's just curled just slightly. You can almost smell like she smells fragrant like flowers. And she's rather naked. She's naked. And she looks at you, and she makes no effort to cover herself. And she just kind of blushes a little bit and smiles at you. And she just has the warmest, most beautiful smile. And she just kind of takes her hand out and uses her fingers and just like begins to beckon you to her.
I nuclear blush.
Shh. She says, in Elven, she says to you, "Hello. Who might you be?" And there's no way the others of you can hear this. The sound of the water is deafening. Like there's no way you can hear it.
I'm trying to call Yinkin. There's a tree right there. That one right there.
Yinkin, as is a crocodile, and no way he can hear you over.
Did his green cheeks just turn red? What is he looking at?
He's glowing from across the river.
Yeah, and she's just looking at you. Hello?
And just blush and shapeshift back to an elf. My name is Yinkin, and I'm not looking at her anymore, but I've got the rope in one hand, but I'm also like idly twirling my wedding ring. And my friends need me to, it was nice to,
Oh no, dear, calm yourself, please. I'm so sorry. Is it my hideousness? I realize how unattractive I am.
Oh no. No. I need to, yes, rope. And I'm just gonna start looking anywhere.
And she says to you, "But Yinkin, I can help you. I would be more than happy. Please, may I?" And she like beckons you again.
Do we see her at this point?
No, she's kind of like down a little bit, like so. It's not
Yeah.
again. It's yeah, and you definitely can't.
I'm gonna turn not turn, but I'm gonna kind of like tip my head. The dragon's still on my head, right?
Yeah, the dragon's still with you for sure.
I'm gonna kind of nudge him slightly and hey little buddy, can you go see what our friend is doing? Maybe help him. There's a tree right there. He just needs to tie the rope. Little help, please.
And like it just, you can tell it's looking at you in a way that it just looks terribly confused. Like that's
I'm gonna send Mr. Sparkles to fly at Yinkin's face.
Okay. So Yinkin, you're over there for a moment, and she's beckoning you. This beautiful elven woman, and I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
You broke up something wicked. What?
I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Lovely. Rip Yinkin.
If it's charm magic, he has advantage. No, it
I'm
doesn't need it.
fine. I have a wife to go home to.
She clearly tries to cast charm person on you. And she looks sad, like she wants to cry. Yinkin, I'm so lonely. Nobody will love me because of how ugly I am. Yinkin, please, just hold me.
You haven't even told me your name, and my friends need my help.
But I need
And
your help, Yinkin. I need your help.
But you're not my friend yet, and I need a tree. And I'm gonna keep looking for a tree. Which is probably stupid because I am turning my back to her, but naked woman.
When you look back across the river, you see us like all furiously pointing at a tree like 10 feet from you. That one would be perfect.
Or that one, or that one. I'd reach out and smack you with mage hand if I could reach.
And so
Mr. Sprinkles is flying at your face.
yeah, Mr. Sprinkles flies over, and what are you having him do, Giselle?
Just like, well, now apparently Yankin's not enthralled by this thing, so he's doing what he's supposed to. So Mr. Sparkles is just supervising, apparently.
Okay.
Just make sure he does what he's supposed to. Check the knot, make sure it's secure.
For what it's worth, Damn. For what
Sorry.
it's worth, when I see the bird, I'm just going to very quietly tell them there's someone over here.
Ugh, your friend says that there's someone over here. Of course there is. He's here. Your friends are so stupid.
Yankin says there's somebody over there.
That explains the distraction, but okay.
Does Mr. Sparkles see her?
No, he does not.
Mr. Sparkles doesn't see them, though.
So Yinkin, you're like actually like at the tree now. Like you're
Hopefully.
okay, yeah. So yeah, you're like trying to tie this thing around. Mr. Sprinkles looks and sees no one.
I'm just
He's
tying
gone crazy.
the rope off or wrapping it around once around the tree, and then yeah. Actually, wait, I have a different idea. I'm going to tie it once around the tree to make like a pulley.
Okay. And what's the plan here?
I'm going to wait for them to tie themselves off and just wave and let them know. And then once they tie themselves off, I'm going to turn into a draft horse and pull.
Okay, are you all doing this? Are you all along with this plan?
Once he confirms that the thing is tied, or once Mr. Sprinkles confirms.
Yeah.
So we each tie a bit of this rope around our waists, and all go at the same time.
Yes.
Okay. So who's like? You're all going at once?
We're all,
We don't have a way to
we're
get
in
the rope
chain.
back to the other.
Yeah, so we've tied all of our ropes together to tied the ropes around ourselves in a chain. So
Right,
even
okay.
if one of us slips, we're still all together
Okay.
in this.
But if you all get like, if for whatever reason, let's say Yinkin can't hold onto the rope, you're all gonna fly downstream together. I get it. It's fine.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, you guys all tie yourselves off on this rope, and then Yinkin, as a draft horse, you're gonna try to yank them all.
Well, imagine they're swimming to just to stay
Yeah.
above water. I'm just speeding their passage up significantly.
Well,
Yeah, he's helping us.
bear in mind,
So
like this water was so fast that when a crocodile hit it, you had trouble swimming. So a human, it's still gonna be difficult. You're gonna help them, but there's still a risk. Like that, there's
Of course.
okay,
Right, that's another reason for the collective.
okay.
And actually, with all of us tied to it, physics, if we go downstream, we'll all just slam against the other side of the riverbank.
Theoretically, yes. Again,
Unless the rope snaps.
or yeah, something else intervenes. Right, exactly. I just want to confirm. So
Before we hop in the water, though, I'm gonna nudge the dragon. I'm going in there. I don't know if you want to stay up there. I can't promise you anything.
and abruptly the dragon like pops off of your head and just like flies across to the other side and lands on a tree branch and just like it doesn't caw at you, but it makes a noise like, okay, let's go. Like, I'm ready.
Now you listen. She says with good humor.
Yeah, so Yinkin, give me a, let's say a strength check. Yeah, draft horse is +4.
Yep. I'm going to use the inspiration from Faith. What is it, a D6?
I think it's
How long does
56,
inspiration last?
10 minutes?
Okay, all right.
So 12, it's something.
12. It's better than an 8. So yeah, you all abruptly get ripped into the water. Now, this, because Yinkin is, again, not really necessarily very familiar with being a draft horse, especially not one in the jungle. So Yinkin, you're trying to dig your hooves in and pull as hard as you can. He ends up almost pulling too hard initially, and you all get ripped into the water. And it's so violent that it takes you all a moment to figure out to get your bearings, to start swimming, to get yourself above water. Yeah, I'll need all of you to make me a... We should have done order, but I guess it doesn't matter at this point. Give me either an acrobatics check or maybe an athletics check to grab onto something as you whip onto the other side. Okay, so everybody but Faith, excuse me, is able to latch onto some rocks or some vines on the other side to hold you. Faith, you're kind of flailing, and for a moment, because everyone else is kind of bobbing for a moment, you get dunked under the water.
Yeah.
And as you do so, you see a face under the water, and it's this beautiful caramel-skinned elven woman. Beautiful black curls that just seem to bob in the water. She's quite lovely. And I'm going to need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, fuck.
So you save.
Oh.
She's beckoning and she's so beautiful. But you just start suddenly your head bursts above the water and you're just gasping for air.
And then I also scream because there's a woman under the water and I know she tried to do something.
Mm-hmm.
It's a wordless scream, but...
And also an underwater scream.
Yeah, mouthful of... I'm not gonna, pierce eardrums.
Yeah. So you guys are barely, you barely get up on the other side. Mostly it's Gabriel pulling you up with his just pure, acrobatics. He just, manages to deftly, get a leg up, pulling Marcus up. And Giselle somehow manages easily to get up on the side. It's probably just because you got whipped so hard, Giselle just sort of rolled up onto the land.
Giselle is surprisingly dexterous for a mage.
And, yeah, you all managed to get up on the dry land on the far side of the river.
Someone underneath the water.
Yes, you were under the water.
No. Yeah. She tried to charm me.
Oh. Hmm.
You weren't charmed, though, right? And
I'm just going to shake my head.
Maybe it's the same person that Mr. Sparkles said that Yinkin thought was over here. Unless there's more of them. More of them would be bad.
I just keep pulling. I'm a horse.
We're on land.
Yeah, well.
Okay.
You can
pulling you
now.
slowly ashore.
Yeah, so Yinkin can pull you guys up onto the land, and you're all dripping wet and soaked through. But yeah, you're all up on the dry land. You're in this kind of more open area again that looks like maybe an old campsite or something to the effect. You are all safe, it seems. What are you doing?
Well, that was
Coughing
easy.
up water.
Looking around for the watery tart.
The what?
The watery tart.
You
Were hoping to get a sword?
You don't see anything. Just the river and I think
What is it with?
Go ahead.
What is it with wet ladies lately?
Yinkin will drop, once everybody's on land, he'll drop the wild shape. Yeah, there's a woman that very nude.
Did I notice if the woman under the water is naked?
Oh yeah, she was entirely naked.
Faith's just gonna kind of nod and point at Yinkin while she's, coughing.
Well, I get to see the naked ladies.
You could put your head underwater. Maybe she's still there.
Oh, thank you.
Would Giselle choose to fail that charm person roll?
I don't think
I
she
wanna
would.
I mean, you didn't see her.
It's a hot naked elven lady.
Yeah,
I mean,
she's really beautiful.
that's right up Giselle's alley.
It does sound like Giselle's
I mean, if it had been a hot naked man, I probably would have said Faith has disadvantage, but Anyway.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys, what do you do?
I think we need to continue trap.
Might want to get away from here as soon as possible.
Yeah. Adjust things, including my hair, and then beckon to the dragon.
Okay. Yeah, the dragon like sees you coughing and everything, and as you're like coughing up the water and everything, it kind of like bounces over to you. And it sort of like I think it sort of like starts flapping its wings trying to like dry you off. And it's making this sound that it's like a happy sound, but you probably would interpret it to mean the dragon seems to be laughing at you.
Like a chirping, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably the best word for the kind of noises this thing makes. Are kind of more of like a chirping, but not quite like a bird.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of chirping at you.
Yes, I know. I'm wet.
Boost Mobile commercials.
What commercials?
Do you guys remember those old Boost Mobile commercials? Be a chirp and it'd say, "Boost Mobile, where you at?"
Oh,
Oh yeah.
definitely not that kind of chirping either. Better reception than that. Oh, I'm burning Boost Mobile. They're not going to sponsor the show. So
I
Wait,
think
you're
I
getting
found the sound.
sponsorships? Where's our cut?
what do you cut? Please, you're volunteers.
Is that the sound it's making?
What sound?
I
Discord.
linked Discord.
Oh. Yes,
This
actually,
sound.
closer to that sound, yes. Up until the part where it screams and starts spitting in somebody's face.
Yeah.
But so far,
Thank you for that.
this
That's-
Fey Dragon might still.
Eat me.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely closer to the sound I'm imagining in my head, yes.
Yeah. Anyway.
So, I'm glad we got that figured out. So, yeah, so you guys, you're on the other side. What are you doing? You tell me.
Tower. Let's just keep moving.
I was actually going to look for the woman just because something's not right there, but
I mean, if it's not in very trouble, but okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Did she
if
try to charm
anybody's
you?
gonna,
yes, and I didn't want to leave it behind us.
Yes, but I don't want to charm any of these guys, because a hit from either of those two is gonna hurt, and I really don't want to be turned to ice. Pointing, obviously, at the boys and then Faith. Or Giselle. I'm Faith. Newton, seriously? Dude, I'm in the middle of
Boys?
something.
I'm fairly certain.
Fair enough.
Well, if anybody was going to investigate it, one of us else would be the best choice. As we have certain advantages against charming.
We do?
I say we just move on.
I
Okay.
feel like that's probably best as well, but
Yeah, unless it follows us, I don't think we should bother ourselves with it.
Thank you.
All right, then.
perhaps we should make sure it doesn't follow us, though.
How do you suggest we do that?
We keep a rear guard.
Yeah, we just keep an eye out.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't you have a spell that can keep people from following us as well? Someone? You
It
used it
already
the other
knows we're
day?
here.
True.
Okay. So you guys continue on. You are in this sort of campsite for a moment. You get dried off, what have you, and you begin passing through the other side, continuing forth through the jungle. Thick as it ever was. Start to pass by the river, and getting further away from it. Obviously, it gets very quiet, almost like it's silent, which I didn't mean to do. But it's very quiet. You're continuing forth, and you're noticing here, Faith, maybe that the dragon seems to be a little bit more on edge. It seems less playful. You haven't heard the giggling of the pixies in a while. But yeah, you guys continue traveling through. Tahira seems a bit distracted as well. And you're passing through and traveling for a few more hours. It's getting into like midday, maybe a little after. And Yinkin, since I think you have the highest passive perception, you hear what sounds distinctly like hooves. And a few sets of them that are off in the distance, but they seem to be moving pretty fast.
I didn't know there were horses in the Fae.
What?
Are there unicorns in the Fae?
I don't
Or
know.
are those...
Unicorns aren't real.
What's a unicorn?
It's a horse that someone put a horn on in a, like,
They're not real?
well,
Right.
I mean... I don't think
Oh, you
so.
mean that thing we saw at the trial?
No. Was that a unicorn?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Is
Oh
it
yeah,
getting
that's right. The
closer?
unicorn came in and like
Right.
Deus Ex Machina our
It
lives.
didn't
Our-
look quite
our
look
party
like a
life.
horse, though. It didn't quite look like a horse, though, did it? Didn't that have scales?
Yeah, it was something
Not that
else.
one, the other thing. But is it getting
Anyway.
closer?
No. It seems to be moving from kind of right to left, probably, a couple 100 feet ahead of you. It's obviously you're not really seeing much.
Hmm.
Can Mr. Sprinkles see anything there, Giselle?
I could try and send him forward. He's very grumpy, I think, though. We might want to bribe him.
You could be nice to him.
He is a manifestation of my magic. I should not have to be nice to my magic.
Then don't complain that he's grumpy.
Maybe it's because your magic is grumpy.
My magic is a pain in the ass. I'll talk to Mr. Sprinkles and ask him if he'll fly ahead and see what the horses are.
Good idea.
Of course, yes. Something else you don't want to do, I'll do for you, of course. Without complaint. And he just sort of he just flies off. He doesn't even listen for whatever you have to say.
You know what? I'm just gonna unsummon him.
And he sort of flies off and are you looking through his eyes or are you just asking him to tell you what he sees?
Until he goes out of range. If he goes out of range, then yeah, I'll just look through his eyes.
Okay. Yeah, so I think you have up to a mile with him.
No, it's
no,
only 100
It's
feet.
only 100 feet. So yeah, no, he doesn't see anything within 100 feet.
All right, then I'll just have him.
Okay. So he continues flying out and he says
I unfortunately don't have telepathic contact with him within 100, except within 100 feet.
oh,
either.
okay. All right. So yeah, he disappears and you guys are kind of left standing there just waiting. Still just waiting.
If I was a warlock,
Still waiting.
I hope he doesn't die. He only has a little bit of health.
And
You know if something happens to him?
I should. My spell will end.
suddenly he kind of flies back. All right, I'm back. What do you want?
I just want to know what was the horsey people things. What
Then-
was going on ahead?
They're not horses. Not like
Oh.
horses I've seen. Not that I've seen many horses. I think most of them do not have the faces of a woman.
Oh, whoa. Oh. Do they have faces of women?
They have more than just the faces, but this is improper for me to speak of this. But they are,
Do they have boobs?
please.
She gonna laugh.
Giselle, what exactly are you asking your bird right now?
Oh yeah, you guys all hear Giselle say, "Do they have boobs?"
And then she just kind of laughs. Well, apparently they're not horses. They're some kind of lady-faced horse. Do they have boobs, Mr. Sprinkles? This is an important question.
Is it-
No, it really isn't.
They are horses with women on top. They have horns on their head. This is enough for you.
Are they two people, or is it a woman on top and they're just one person?
It is a creature. It is not a woman or a horse. It is a woman horse. I don't
Okay.
know.
Women horse. Okay, so apparently this is what Mr. Sprinkles, you're very strange. You could have just told me.
Giselle, you're very strange. Can you tell us what's going on?
There's some kind of creature ahead that's not a horse, but apparently it's got a woman on top. And he won't tell me if they've got boobs.
It's a woman riding a horse.
Right.
No, it's apparently not. It's apparently a woman horse.
So it's one creature?
Yes.
So it's a mare.
I don't know.
Oh, a female horse. I know that one.
No, he says they've got the faces of women.
I'm just walking.
Out of character, obviously. This is some kind of centaur. But, dude,
Wait, so they cut off women's faces? These
I have
horses?
no idea.
I have no idea. Yeah.
Maybe they're wearing masks.
The face is weird.
Costume party.
Well,
Yeah,
we're
what if
about
they're
to
wearing
find out.
masks?
I know
Who
horses
asks?
wear masks. I don't know if horses wear masks.
Do horses wear masks?
Or sometimes horses just wear a lot of makeup.
So, are you guys just moving on? What are you doing?
I assume we're walking while having this
Can we?
discussion.
Maybe we
Yick
should
and
sneak
walked.
up on
He
them.
kept going.
So, as you're walking through, you're continuing on in that direction. Yinkin, you hear what sounds like the whimpering of a woman. It's pretty loud. It seems quite frightened, and it's probably, we'll say, like, I want to say northeast, but it's not northeast. Forward and kind of right from where you are. Distance is kind of hard to tell, but you can definitely hear it.
Okay, maybe Giselle's not as crazy as I thought.
Why?
I hear women's voices ahead.
Just one.
A woman's voice ahead, and it doesn't sound good.
Is it the woman we saw back on the beach?
I
Riverbank?
I don't know.
What is it saying?
It's whimpering.
Somebody's hurt?
That's what it sounds like.
Or is it a trap? Damn it, Giselle.
It's probably both.
What do you do?
Not
I'm
having
assuming we
someone
still
injured.
can't see the tower.
Correct.
Approach.
Yeah.
Are you just like walking up on it?
Yeah.
Okay. So you walk up and you see that there is a very small clearing that allows you just a bare amount of vision. And there you see a creature that I will show to you in a moment here that does in fact look like a horse lady. Kind of at least her top kind of looks like this. But she has
Does she have boobs?
She does. She does, in fact, because somebody here is a total pervert.
I mean, like, are they totally exposed? No.
She doesn't wear a top, but her hair would cover, like you see the long dreads that she would have if she were standing upright. But she's not standing upright because when you see her, she is on her side. You see that she's bleeding. And right as you walk up on her, she's crying. She looks terrified. You see that like a couple of her horns look cracked. Excuse me. And then you see cutting through the brush within just a few feet of her, is this small, mostly humanoid-looking figure. Let me just double check something real quick. Yeah, I was right. Okay, I think I was right. But you see this small creature, this like really ugly face, like this kind of white beard hair that's pretty ugly. Its face kind of looks scarred and wrinkled, and it kind of looks like this.
Ugh.
And it's carrying a massive sickle. And she is down. She is prone. She looks like she can't move. Looks like her legs might have gotten tangled up. Again, she's wounded, clearly bleeding. And the small creature just walks up and raises its sickle and promptly brings it down on her. Like he's killing her.
Can I try and stop him?
He's gonna. We can roll initiative here, but he's gonna get an attack as he is close enough. But yes, he is. Yeah, so we can roll initiative here. I guess I need to do that again. Everyone roll.
I know Giselle was AFK.
I'm here.
Okay.
Okay, do you want to roll?
And also
Initiative?
Please, yes.
to Hira.
Yes, thank you. Let me get a couple tokens here on the map real quick. Say there. And then...
And how far away are we from the guy that's attacking her?
I would say probably 30 to... I'll say like 45 feet.
Okay.
That seems like a fair distance to me. Will this actually work? Yes, it will. It's so weird going from an NPC character sheet to a monster character sheet. Okay, so the creature, the small creature is going to act first. And like I said, he is going to bring his sickle down on her. And he is at advantage because she is prone. Ooh, and he crits.
Cutting words. Oh, it's still a crit. Never mind.
Yeah,
Fuck.
that won't. And he buries his sickle in her like through her shoulder down, tearing off some of her hair. You hear the like tearing sound of flesh. She cries out. I mean, she's not long for this world. And he pulls back. And does he get? And he actually, for the rest of his action, he kind of gets close to her, and it's clear like she has no defense here. And he doesn't seem to have seen you, or if he has, he doesn't care. He basically walks up to her chest, moves her hair aside, and starts like he puts his hands up, like one of his hands up to the blood where it's pouring down her chest, and he starts like wiping it on his face, and like wiping it over his mouth, and he seems to be like covering himself in her blood. It is now Tahira's turn.
Sick.
And she is spooked as hell. She has no idea what this thing is. So she's just gonna fire off a couple. That's not the right button. Longbow shots. That looks like it's gonna miss. That one's gonna hit. So it's 11 damage. So she does 11 damage to this creature, just like an arrow suddenly like jolts into his shoulder. He doesn't really seem terribly perturbed by it. Yinkin.
You said we were 35, 45 feet away?
Like 45 feet or so.
All right. I am going to move forward. Misty steps to go right up next to him and bat him with my regular quarterstaff just to try and push him. No, actually, I try and push the little creature with the sickle back.
So you're going to try to shove him?
Correct.
Okay. Shove is a thing you can do. I think you just make an attack roll, but I'll double check. Shovel.
I don't know.
I think it maybe is it push rather than shovel? No, push.
It's contested acrobatics, I believe. Or not acrobatic, athletics.
The SRD doesn't have anything for shove. That's really weird.
I think it might be a pushing attack. I'm not sure.
I'm almost positive it's contested.
For some reason, I can't find unless it's shoving.
Combat actions. and
Oh, shoving a
combat-
creature. So it's
Mhm.
under shoving rather than shove. Using an attack action, you either knock it prone or push it away from you. Target must be no more one size larger, which he's not. Must be within your reach instead of making. So you roll a strength athletics check opposed by theirs. So you make an athletics check and they oppose with athletics or acrobatics.
Yeah, this is not going to go well, but it's most sense to me.
Okay, so he is going to make an opposed. He's going to make opposed athletics. His athletics is really good. So yeah, 15. So he actually you try to shove him and he just doesn't move, and he's still just like covering himself in her blood.
That's everything I can do.
Giselle.
All right, Giselle is gonna. Let me check the range on this. Giselle's gonna move up within 30 feet of him, and she's gonna cast this on him.
Okay. So he's going to make a roll here. I think it's wisdom. What's your DC? Or
14.
he saves.
Oh, crap.
John or Gabriel? Sorry.
I'm going to. Jeez. I'm going to go ahead and Misty Step as well to get to where the horse lady is.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to put myself in between the creature and the horse lady. And for my action, I'm going to just kind of touch, I guess, her main body horse thing. And I'm going to use Healing Hands.
Okay.
So she's going to gain 4 hit points back.
Okay. She gains 4 hit points. Anything else your turn?
That's going to be my turn.
Marcus.
All right, so you said the thing was 45 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
So if I move my full 40 feet, would he be in range of melee attacks?
He'd be.
Or would I have to be would I have to move the 45 feet? Like, is he at the?
We'll say he's at the thing. You can do your whole movement to get in melee if you want. Yeah.
Cool. Then I will try and hit him with a quarterstaff. Which I assume hits 23.
It definitely does. So you do 7
And
damage.
then, yeah, I'll use a key point for 2 unarmed strikes.
Okay. 14 hits. 10 does not.
Okay.
So another 7. So you start hitting, like you start pounding on him. He's taking some damage for sure. Faith.
I'm gonna go ahead and open up with Dissonant Whispers here.
Okay. Wisdom saving throw. DC 14. He actually crits his save. So he takes what, half?
Yeah.
Okay. Takes what, 6? So he takes
Yep.
6 damage. It's now his turn. He is going to let me just make sure he can do it. Now I have a stupid question for you guys. Just I don't want to feel like you guys to feel like I'm screwing you with the rules. If something says something moves up to its speed to a creature, does that mean it has to move its full movement, or it moves up to its full movement?
Up to, not.
Okay, that's what I thought. So, in that case, Gabriel, he's gonna come like just a few steps. He's gonna like run at you, and he's got these big, weird looking iron boots on. And he's basically going to try to kick you like in the knee with his iron boot. So I need you to make me a dex saving throw, which is your strong
just to
suit.
be clear, he has like a big sickle that he just hacked into this thing. but instead he's gonna just kick Gabriel in the shins like a kid.
Tell
Well,
him what
it's-
this boot
I
can do.
I just like see like that visual imagery is very pleasing.
Yeah, well, no, so he's going to do both. Like, he tries to kick you, you just easily move out of the way. You can tell that if his boot would have hit you, it would have fucking wrecked you. Like, it's a good thing you moved. But he is going to use his sickle and make one attack at you.
Wonderful.
17 hit?
That is a hit. Okay,
you take 11 slashing damage as his sickle cuts into you. But you have protected the lady, so there's that. Tahira is next, and she is... here's something I forget to do. She's going to use... Well, no, I don't want to steal you guys' thunder. She's going to...
Steal it. Do it.
No, I'm just gonna longbow. Whoops. 13. I think that misses. No, it actually just hits. Takes 9 piercing. And actually, she rolls another d8. And does another 5. So she actually brings him down. She brings him down. His body falls. You hear as the iron boots like clank against the ground, like really heavy. His whole body, it almost seems to weigh more than it should just looking at him. He just looks really dense. His body just keels over. And as he keels over and his body just hits the ground, his sickle kind of is laying there. The horse lady is just looking absolutely terrified. She wants to scramble to get up, but she can't move. Like, she's in a lot of pain. She's still very wounded. And as you're standing there for a moment, you hear what sounds distinctly like more of these boots coming in your direction.
Boots or hooves?
Boots, like iron boots. What do you do?
I'm gonna move over to the horse lady and go ahead and toss another heal on her.
Same
God
thing.
damn it.
I just have to kneel down though.
So she gets another 14.
Can you stand?
And if you can, you better do it quick.
I think so. And she
Take
like
it easy, take it easy. They won't be able to see you, I don't think. I'm gonna cast invisibility on her.
Okay. So you cast invisibility. She immediately disappears. And you're all just standing there.
I say we run, but hopefully that'll protect her for now.
Now we had to go through the woods to get here. Are we close to the wood line? Like, we could just jump back into the woods?
No, you've done a bit of traveling since then. You could try to head back that way. You would be backtracking, but like to get back to the river, you mean?
I'm just saying to get out of the clearing so that whatever's running up on us wouldn't be able to see us right away.
You could. I mean, it would give you some additional cover, yeah.
Yeah, I will burn another spell slot. Let's go hide in the trees, in all seriousness.
Okay. So you guys all kind of take off and you start to head into the trees. Why don't you all roll stealth for me?
Jeez.
16. Jam. 26, 21, 14. Somehow Yinkin rolls worse than a crit fail. And Giselle. Okay.
Wow.
Well,
So as you guys try to kind of flee into the forest, you kind of see Yinkin. I think you're probably the last to go because you're like casting the spell and trying to push everyone back into the woods. You kind of turn back and you see into the clearing. You see two more of these small like humanoid creatures kind of burst out into this clearing. They see that their fallen brother or whatever kind of creature it is. The two of them are like drenched in blood. Drenched. One of them is appears to be dragging the head of one of these creatures behind him, and it's just draining blood. And one of them leans down to his fallen brother and kind of inspects it, picks up the sickle and like knocks on the boots, looks around, and like Yinkin, right as you're about to disappear behind the tree line, it just turns and looks at you, and you just hear this like awful rumbling deep voice just say, "Interlopers." And they both pull up sickles, and they both like just start, they don't run, they just start walking at you, like determined, sickles at the ready. And why don't we pick up there next week?
Oh no!
All right.
Unless you guys
Right
really
then.
want to have this fight, but I think
Yeah, we're gonna kick their butts.
There were 2 of them, right?
there are 2.
Okay.
There are 2. It takes 2 to make a thing go right. So yeah, we'll pick up there next week with you guys trying to flee a couple of these little jackbooted thugs.
Red cap little fucker.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah, we'll pick up there next week. I don't think we have any scheduling conflicts next week, which is good. Cool. Any questions, comments, concerns, criticisms? Canoes, kayaks?
Those
Okay.
would have been useful earlier.
Probably. Yeah.
Much? Well,
I don't know. I
know.
still think Faith would have toppled over.
That's okay. That is all right by me. All right. So, I gotta put up my end screen here.
So, do I essentially have a Tressum, but a Fey Dragon?
I mean, that's up to you. I don't know. We'll see. I'm eager to see how that relationship evolves. Oh, I should also.
Oh, it evolves? Does it become Charizard?
So before we go, since we forgot to say anything before, I'll probably want to write it. I keep forgetting things. I'm sorry. I told you, woefully unprepared. Strangely, I want to almost congratulate you guys. Just for shits and giggles, I checked out your group notes. You guys take great fucking notes.
Well, someone in the party takes great fucking notes.
Somebody
I think
does.
Conrad. Like, I know I've done it
Collaborative.
occasionally.
Like
but
I
I
actually
go in
looked-
and like update it after, because a lot of people will enter some things, and then I'll go back in and update it and kind of like clean it up a little.
okay.
But
I was
I
gonna say, I
actually-
know that's not all me.
I couldn't remember somebody's name, and I'm like, they couldn't have it in here, and you did, and I was like, oh my god, that's something that every game needs. Like, if you're not doing that in your game, make your players take their own fucking notes. So good.
I
Also,
tried, but I haven't added
Optional, if
anything
they
in like
don't.
2 weeks. I feel kind of bad. Like 2 actual sessions, not. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, I give them the options. Like, I leave it there. There's group notes. I've set it up. You can track your gold, your NPCs. But if you don't use it, that's on you. But I'm not reminding you.
yeah, exactly. The other thing is, and again, I'll probably try to write it down somewhere. You guys hit level 4. I know Mel took a feat.
Yes, it just gave me +1 charisma, and then that fiery. I can reroll ones and get the shield for a turn.
Okay. Did anyone else take a feat?
Yep.
What did you take?
Observant.
Which does what?
Bumps his
Plus
wisdom by
wisdom
one.
by 1. Whose character is it?
You didn't know, and I had it all last game.
Ooh, burn. Sick burn.
That's what it does.
Ah, okay. Oh, right. Oh, and that's why your passive perception's so crazy good now. I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, by the end of our last game, my druid was 12, and my passive perception was like 24.
Okay. Did anyone else take a feat? Giselle or Gwen?
Nope, I took an ability score.
John? Ability score?
Nope.
I don't get an ability score or feat until level 7s and 8.
right. Yeah, that's right.
That's the way I'm leveling up.
I
Exactly.
took a +1 to charisma, +1 to constitution.
Okay.
I took +1 to intelligence and +1 to constitution.
I did take this too, kind of just to annoy Giselle.
I literally got smarter over the last couple of days.
What Eldritch Invocations do you have, Conrad?
I have
one,
Devil's Sight and Eyes of the Runekeeper, so
Only
I can
2?
see magically. Yeah, I only get 2 at level 2, so
Oh, right.
because
Okay.
I'm a level 2/2.
Oh,
I
you're
also took
2/2.
a cantrip that I want to fuck with you guys with.
So yeah, Mel, I think that's Flames of Phlegethos.
Flames of phlegm.
No, that's real gross. Phlegethos sounds less gross. All right.
Like it's those. I'm not gonna say. I'm just gonna say I'm gonna use flames. My flames feet. That works for me.
Okay.
Flames of Phlegm seems like something a Mucinex commercial would be about.
Brimstone clears the sinuses every time.
There's nothing like sulfur to clean out your sinuses.
Right?
All right. Yeah. So good session. Hopefully you guys had fun. I spent a good bit of Thursday writing, actually just writing some ideas and things, and I'm pretty happy with how it's it's shaping up. I hope you guys are ready for it, which I doubt, but I'm pretty stoked. So we'll see. As always, I hope you guys are having fun.
Party white.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we'll pick up there next week.
Sounds good.
All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna stop the stream.